Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Cannon. Coming up in the news at 5 for this Saturday, July 6, 2024, JPS is declaring that more than 62% of its customers now have electricity as a result of the company's restoration efforts in the 48 hours following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is warning Jamaicans to be aware of foodborne diseases that may arise following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives Violet Nielsen is to be accorded an official funeral. In the region, the Barbados Light and Power Company reported Friday that it has successfully restored supply to all customers affected by the passage of Hurricane Beryl earlier this week. On the international scene, a 5th House Democrat Angie Craig of Minnesota joined her colleagues on Saturday in calling for President Joe Biden to step aside, as reports indicate more could follow soon. While in sports, England stepped back from the brink of a Euro 2024 exit again as they secured a semi-final place with victory over Switzerland on penalties. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
The Jamaica Public Service JPS is declaring that more than 420,000 or 62% of its customers now have electricity as a result of the company's restoration efforts in the 48 hours following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. According to the company, while still in damage assessment mode, they have utilized opportunities to repair and energize sections of the line that had sustained minimal damage. Blaine Jarrett, JPS's Senior Vice President of Energy Delivery, has indicated that over the past 2 days, power was restored to over 184 customers in several communities across the island. While we managed to keep the lights on for about 35% of our customers during the hurricane, about 448,000 lost service due to the damage to the infrastructure. We are now making every effort to accelerate the restoration of service to those still without, he said. We understand that our customers are anxious for service to be restored immediately after the passage of the hurricane, and we remain committed to doing everything to get the lights back on as quickly as possible in a safe manner, he said. JPS further states that in keeping with its restoration protocol, it has been giving priority attention to the restoration of supply to critical facilities, including airports, hospitals, water supply and telecommunications facilities. Several of these facilities are now fully restored and others are expected to be energized today, the company said. Restoration work should continue today in several parishes including Clarendon, Hanover, St. Catherine, St. Thomas, Manchester, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Mary and Portland. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is warning Jamaicans to be aware of foodborne illnesses that may arise following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The powerful Category 4 hurricane downed trees and power lines and left thousands without access to potable water. The Health Ministry says Jamaicans must be vigilant so as not to consume contaminated food or water. Dana Davey has more in this report.
The ministry says those who are seeking a bargain following the passage of the hurricane are at risk. It's warning Jamaicans to be wary of purchasing food that's been heavily discounted. In this case, the ministry says if the price seems too good to be true, chances are it is. Health officials say some vendors may seek to pass on damaged or spoilt goods in an effort to make a profit. Jamaicans are also being warned to avoid canned foods that have no label or may appear bloated, dented, or rusted. Consumers are being told to carefully inspect items in glass bottles for any visible cracks or damage. Bottles that have been submerged in water or flooded should not be purchased. Amid reports of devastation in St. Elizabeth, the Health Ministry is also warning consumers to only purchase vegetables and ground provisions that have a fresh, firm appearance. The produce should be free from odors, chemicals, discoloration, or signs of being water-soaked. When purchasing meat and seafood, consumers are being warned to only purchase from certified outlets. Meats should be frozen. There should be no discoloration or odor. Meat should otherwise only be purchased from a licensed butcher. Jamaicans should avoid purchasing meat from backyard or under-tree operators. The ministry says where there are concerns about the safety of any product, Consumers should make contact with their parish health department. Several communities across the country are still without electricity and water following Hurricane Beryl's passage on Wednesday. The government has said it is doing all it can to restore services in the shortest possible time. Dana Davy for Nationwide News.
And the United Kingdom will be providing financial support for those countries in the Caribbean most impacted by Hurricane Beryl. A statement from the British High Commission in Jamaica says it will be increasing support by £500,000. It's also providing 800 emergency shelter kits to Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 2 rapid deployment teams from the UK have travelled to the region, including Jamaica and the Grenadine island of Caracou. New UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy says their thoughts remain with those who have lost loved ones, their homes, or have been left without power. He says this funding will help support disaster recovery efforts as part of a swift and coordinated response in the region. Meanwhile, a Royal Navy patrol ship, the HMS Trent, has arrived in the Cayman Islands, a British overseas territory, to provide any assistance required to communities affected by Beryl. The UK government says it is committed to working with Caribbean countries to build their resilience to climate change and natural disasters. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives Violet Nielsen CD is to be accorded an official funeral. Her funeral service will be held at the Montego Bay Convention Centre on Monday, July 8, with interment at the Dovecote Funeral Park in St. James. Nielsen passed away on Tuesday, June 11 at the age of 92. She made history as the first female Speaker of the House of Representatives, serving from 1997 to 2003. She also served as PNP MP for East Central St. James from 1989 to 1997. A former educator, Mrs. Nielsen also served as the first female president of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, advocating for the agricultural sector and rural communities. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Mrs. Nielsen left an indelible mark on our nation's history through her pioneering work and distinguished career in politics, which was preceded by her time in the civil and public services. He again extended his deepest condolences to former Speaker Nielsen's family, friends, and all who knew her well. The police have seized 58 illegal weapons across the St. James Division since the start of the year. Commanding Officer 4th Division Superintendent Aaron Samuels says the latest seizure occurred on Thursday during a stop-and-search operation in the parish.
On Thursday, July 4th, the members of the St. James Police Division were conducting stop-and-search and VCP operations targeting wanted persons, persons of interest, and persons who may be carrying prohibited weapons. A Subaru motor vehicle was stopped with 3 occupants aboard. Upon being asked to exit the vehicle by the police officers, one man, upon exiting, a firearm fell from him through his pants and fell to the ground. This firearm was retrieved and found to be a Browning single-action pistol with 11 live rounds affixed in the magazine. 3 occupants of the vehicle were taken into custody pending investigations. This brings to 58 the number of illegal weapons seized within the St. James Division since the start of the year.
St. James holds the dubious honour of being the most murderous division. The parish recorded 72 homicides up to June 29, but that's 26 fewer than the 98 recorded during the corresponding period last year. SM Superintendent Samuel says the police has identified its operations in a bid, they have intensified their operations in a bid to rid the parish of hoodlums who may seek to relocate their illegal weapons in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl.
We ramp up our operations as we believe that persons would move these weapons from their hiding places because of the impact that the hurricanes may have on the various locations. So we have increased our stop and search and targeted operations within the division post Hurricane Beryl. And we believe that we need to, as best as possible, rid the streets of these weapons, go after the wanted persons, and ensure that we create a safer environment within the St. James Division.
Superintendent Aaron Samuels, commanding officer for St. James. Meanwhile, Station Commander for the Red Hills Police Division, Detective Inspector Colin Berger, says the police recovered 1 M16 rifle following a targeted operation in Happy Grove, St. Andrew on Friday.
Acting on information, the Riddles Police carried out a targeted operation within the Lower Appy Grove area of St. Andrew, where one M16 rifle was recovered with a magazine containing 13 5.56 cartridges. One suspect was arrested in connection with this find. We will continue to relentlessly pursue criminal elements and violence producers within our space. We also continue to look forward to the cooperation of our good, law-abiding citizens.
Detective Inspector Colin Berger, Station Commander for the Red Hills Police Division. To news now in the region, the Barbados Light and Power Company reported Friday that it has successfully restored supply to all customers affected by the passage of Hurricane Beryl earlier this week. Director of Operations Johan Greaves said crews deployed over the past 4 days had demonstrated unwavering dedication and worked hard to ensure customers had power again. When the Category 4 hurricane passed about 80 miles to Barbados' south early Monday, about 25% of Light and Power customers had the electricity supply interrupted. The utility company thanked customers for their patience and the information they shared to get things back on track. However, Greaves noted, while we are happy we have been able to have all Beryl-impacted customers' power restored, our work continues. Over the next few days, crews will be addressing any low-hanging or sparking wires to ensure that safety and reliability of our service continue. To ensure the safety and reliability of the service. On the international scene, President Joe Biden's Friday night TV interview does not seem to have quelled an uprising within his own party to end his campaign after a halting debate performance against Donald Trump. A Fifth House Democrat, Angie Craig of Minnesota, joined her colleagues on Saturday in calling for the president to step aside, as reports indicate more could follow soon. In his rare primetime ABC interview, Mr. Biden dismissed his debate performance as just a bad episode and said only the Lord Almighty could convince him to end his bid for re-election. Mr. Biden, 81, is spending Saturday at his family home in Delaware before two public events on Sunday. While no senior members of the party have called on the president to quit, the unease amongst Democrats is palpable. Some poll numbers show Trump's lead over Mr. Biden widening, and many are concerned about losing the presidency and House seats, along with the Senate majority if he leads the ticket. On Saturday, Congresswoman Craig, who is running in a competitive district in Minnesota, said she did not believe that the president could effectively campaign and win against Donald Trump. Let's now turn to sports. England stepped back from the brink of a Euro 2024 exit again as they secured a semi-final place with victory over Switzerland on penalties in Dusseldorf today. Gareth Southgate's side, who were rescued by Jude Bellingham's spectacular late equaliser in the last 16 against Slovakia, were in trouble once more when Breel Embolo stole in at the far post to put Switzerland ahead with only 15 minutes left. Bukayo Saka then produced a moment of individual brilliance to equalize 5 minutes later. Extra time failed to find a winner, England going through with a set of flawless penalties after goalkeeper Jordan Pickford saved Manuel Ajakane's first spot kick. Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, Saka and Ivan Toney were all successful before substitute Trent Alexander-Arnold hammered home the decisive penalty in front of England's delirious supporters. Cricket West Indies CWI proudly recognized two of its long-standing board of directors for their exemplary service at a prestigious reception held in Barbados on June 28. The ceremony celebrated the remarkable contributions of CWI directors Enoch Lewis, president of Leeward Island Cricket Board, and Conde Riley, president of Barbados Cricket Association. Lewis has dedicated over 18 years to CWI, while Riley has committed more than 15 years to the organization. The awards were presented by Dr. Kishore Shallow, President of Cricket West Indies, and Mr. Azim Bazarath, Vice President of Cricket West Indies. And now a recap of the top stories making nationwide news at 5. JPS is declaring that more than 62% of its customers now have electricity as a result of the company's restoration efforts in the 48 hours following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is warning Jamaicans to be aware of foodborne illnesses that may arise following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives Violet Nielsen is to be accorded an official funeral. I'm Andrew Cannon. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at 9 tomorrow morning, but stay tuned. The dynamic duo of Wayne Walker and Alex Swiby are up next with Sports Nation Live.
This summer, transform your summer body with Express Fitness Gym. For just $9,500 on AutoPay, you'll get access to all our locations 24/7. Enjoy free classes, fully air-conditioned facilities, showers, and changing rooms. Plus, our certified trainers are here to help you reach your goals. Visit Express Fitness Gym today. Your goal is our mission. Find a location near you or sign up now at pay.expressfitnessja.com.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me, let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I'll soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
Get ready for a show like no other. That's right. Every Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m., we're bringing you the Harvest Hour, only on Nationwide 90 FM. Join us as we dive into a soothing religious program created for your mind, body, and soul. The World Harvest Mission Church, creators of the Harvest Hour, is dedicated to making your Sundays God-fearing and saintly. Get a front row seat to moving sermons and affectionate worshiping. That's the Harvest Hour, every Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome. It's July 7, 2024. Now, if you bowl it, we'll hit for 6. If you pass it, we'll score it. Give us a pull, we dive in, and as fast as the starter's gun fires, we're at that finish line. I'm Alex Weber. This is Most Things and Live on Nationwide 90 FM, nationwideradiogm.com, and Flow Channel 916. You can also tune in to our program live on our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM, and remember to like, subscribe, and share our content. Coming up, we have another packed and exciting show lineup for you. We'll be talking track and field, swimming, bodybuilding, and much more. But first, an athletics lesson from 1 Corinthians 9, verse 24.
1 Corinthians 9 verse 24. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Did you notice when reading this verse that it doesn't say you must win or you will win? It is actually telling us that the kind of effort and dedication victory requires. Competing with integrity is the key here. Anyone can cheat and win, but what does that do us morally? It's not about winning at all costs or abandoning your values to do anything it takes to win. This is telling us we need to perform at our absolute best and have the self-discipline to compete in a focused, well-practiced, and strategic manner. If we do that, we will perform in such a way that will be nearly impossible to beat. Will we get beat sometimes? Absolutely. However, in performing with honor, we can feel victorious even in a loss.
Okay, so that was our athletics lesson from 1 Corinthians 9, verse 24. No, no, feature, you just had to be there. We relive Calabar's Tyreek Wilson win the Class 1 Boys 100 meters final of the 2018 Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships.
Down in their blocks. Set. Sent on their way now. Javon Madison got a fairly good start. Stevens is trying to come on. Tyreek Wilson. Madison pulls up. Tyreek Wilson. Oh, what drama. Wilson. And from Jamaica College, Raheem Robertson was in there. It's a blanket finish. Very, very tight, but I think Tyreek Wilson may have squeezed out the gold medal. Yes, he did. 10-21 from Calabar. Tyreek Wilson. New personal best for him. Robertson takes silver. But what drama we had.
Okay, so that was our feature. You just had to be there, where we relive Calabar's Tyreek Wilson winning the Class 1 Boys 100 meters final of the 2018 Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships, ordered there courtesy of TVJ. With that, we take a break and we come back with more here on Sports Nation Live.
Nationwide 90 FM is at it again.
Malay Walker is pulling away another Jamaican win.
Team Revolution will clear every hurdle and sprint to the finish as we cover the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris, the city of love.
Here comes Parchment on the outside, all the way under pressure. Handsome Parchment, let's gold! A Jamaican victory in the 110 hurdles.
Nationwide's coverage is powered by our gold sponsor, Ray and Nephew White Overproof Rum.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me, let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
That we should be together. The true beauty of music is that it connects people. It carries a message. It speaks to you. It changes you. And that's exactly what we do just for you every Sunday as we take you to Urban Paradise, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Urban Paradise is our weekly musical journey that will serve up 110 glorious minutes of positive storytelling through music, mixed in with inspirational features to provoke thought and to heal the soul.
Like a dream come true, just wanna be with you.
So join me, Diane Ashton Smith, this and every Sunday, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. Urban Paradise, opening our hearts, connecting to others.
Power in great moments. If you have financial needs, Chris and Charles will fix them for you. Power in great moments since 1992. Oh, we have it all. Power in great moments. Relax, you got Chris and Charles. Oh, we have it all. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
So welcome back to Sports Nation Live. My name is Wayne Walker, and of course, Alric, you would have heard him at the start of the introduction. And one of the things we'll be doing is looking back at the National Senior and Junior Athletics Championships over at the National Stadium over the 4 days last week into this week. Sunday being the last day. It was an exciting championship, and powers that be would have now been pouring over the results, trying to get the teams together. So the championship was held mainly to pick the team to the Paris Olympic Games, and of course the Under-20 World Championship to be held in Lima, Peru from August 27 to August 30.
Well, Jamaica's senior athletes put on a show at the 4-day national championships, which started on June 27th at National Stadium. Today we relive some of the exciting moments, as you heard Wayne said earlier. First, we look at the men's 400 meters hurdles final when Malik James King, 47.42 seconds, won ahead of Usain Clark, 48.04, and Jahil Hyde, a season's best, 48.35.
In the set position, and they're sent away for the men's 400 meters hurdles final here at the National Championship. 3 tickets on offer for the Paris Olympic Games. Jahil Hyde went out very, very quickly. Rashawn Clark is also there. They're heading up the backstretch area now. Malik James King is also keeping company with Rashawn Clark, giving the stagger at the moment. He's traveling the best. Jahil Hyde out in lane number 8, running blind. Rashawn Clark colors them in the crown of the bend. They're entering the straightaway. The two former training partners are now disputing the lead, but there's no question about who is the top man in this event, and he's showing it just now. Rashawn Clark, the former Camperdown High School man, but Malik James King has so massively improved this year, and look at the former Jamaica College star. Malik James King has produced a stunning upset, 47-37. What an outstanding performance from Malik James King, and we can't say we're surprised, even though Rashawn Clark started favorite. But this performance from Malik James King reminds us of when we saw him here in the stadium, 47-42, a massive personal for this rapidly improved former Jamaica College man. What a show, Daniel Dowie. All right, so there you go. And we're going to be talking the races through as we play them. And we've got two members of the nationwide team who will be massively important to our Olympic coverage when it starts on July 26th. Of course, you know, athletics would have started on August 1, Emancipation Day here in Jamaica. So you won't be hearing them until around about that time. But they're going to be so massively important to what we do here in the Olympic Games. Two of them, because we've got a real big pool of analysts, but two of the big ones, Raymond Casey Graham and Michael Carr, they've joined us on the line to sort of help to reflect on what we saw at the National Stadium last week. Gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Sports Nation Live.
Yes, good evening, Wayne, and good evening to all the listeners. Casey?
Mr. Graham? Have we lost Casey?
No, but you have TC.
Oh, we have TC. Okay.
Mr. TC.
No worry yourself. It's Casey all around. That's all. It's still Casey.
Yeah, still the 40. Still the 40.
All right. Let me start with you, TC. That race that we just played with Malik James King, 47-42 in the stadium in June. That's huge. That's one. But two, we had Jahil and Rashawn, the two most immediate past champions, beaten by this Jamaica College star just about 2 years out of school and showing this sort of rapid improvement. We saw him at the Racers Grand Prix doing the same thing. Or was it the Jamaica Invitational? One of the two. Can't remember right now. But he served notice. So what we saw at the stadium, though it was an upset, I don't think we could say we were surprised because his improvement has been really noticeable and really good.
Absolutely. He had he's been having a great season. Ran a number of flat 44s, flat 400 meters, got into the 45s regularly, so you know he had the speed. But his technique has also improved rapidly. And this 48-48 is just, it has placed him among the best of the best. And we can only hope that he will replicate some of this form at the Olympics, because should he do so, I want to believe that he could be on the podium.
Yes, it's going to be difficult, though, to get on the podium, because in the Olympics will be the three greatest over the distance ever. Yeah, he's got the Santos from Brazil, he's got Karsten Warholm from Norway, and of course, Rai Benjamin from the United States. Michael, you'd want to see Malik on the podium. In fact, you'd want to see any of the Jamaicans on the podium. But when you go up against the three greatest all time, running 46 for joke, it's going to be difficult to see James on the podium, right?
I will agree with you. It's a challenge. Here, I think he sprung a big surprise because, of course, Rashawn Clark was a hot favorite. No one expected it. Well, a lot of persons did not expect him to do what he did. But I don't think on the Olympic stage he will be able to spring such a surprise. He should be a finalist. He has the potential to be a finalist. As a matter of fact, if all our 400 hurdlers execute the race the way they should, they all have the potential to get into that final, you know. So I'm looking for him to get into the final, but not necessarily for him to get on the podium.
Mm-hmm. That's a stretch. It's going to be difficult. And I think Rashawn has the pedigree. He finished fourth in Budapest last year, so he knows what it is to be running on the biggest of stages. But as we all agreed, Malik James King's improvement is so rapid.
Wayne, I also believe that Rashawn was probably surprised too. You know, he probably at one stage thought that he had the race won. Mm-hmm. And I think he relaxed a bit on the last hurdle and thing. But
and it's quite possible that some other people could be relaxed and let him go by.
Right. That's possible as well. Jahil, hi, gentlemen, and TC, I want you to take this one. I don't know. He was beaten by Rashawn when Rashawn took the national championship off him, and he was second. This year, he drops another place. Where's his career going?
Well, it's difficult to say. I can't just by looking saying that his career is going left or right. Obviously, though, he's not making the kind of gains that we probably thought he would have coming out as a junior. And so, he's going to have to do some introspective. He's going to have to decide, is this my last? Do I need to just throw everything at it? That's a question that's just in front of him right now.
And it's one that he's got to answer very, very quickly because, as we mentioned, the event is littered with some outstanding people. And when you find an event this stacked, it sometimes just forces you out of it. You've got to look at Danny McFarlane. He left the 400 meters and went on to win silver in the 400 hurdles at the Olympic Games in 2004 in Athens. So Jahil, if he doesn't improve, he's in and around the 48s. People are running 46, 47 regularly. He has got to make a decision at some point because they're all young people, right? Just out of NCAA maybe 3 years ago. Rashawn is still a young boy. He's a world junior record holder. Malik just out of high school the other day. And Karsten seems as if he's got another 2 or 3, maybe 4 years left. So he's got to decide if he's going to stay in this event because it's really, really stacked and loaded. All right, so...
Hold on.
One at a time. One at a time. Let's TC go first.
Yeah, but where would he go?
That's the thing. I mean, and he can't go to another 400 meters. I don't think he can go down there. But by the way, he's a hurdler. He's a sprint hurdler too.
Yes, he's a sprint hurdler. Is it time gone past him for the sprint hurdlers?
You might want to ask Milane Walker that question.
Okay.
Michael, you wanted to come in.
Yes. What I think he needs to do is adjust the race strategy that he uses. Because many times he goes out very hard on that first 200. Right? He goes out. If you watch his races coming along the line, that first 200 is very aggressive out there. I think he probably just need to change things around so that he can have more to come home with. I mean, he's a youth champion. He's a world junior champion. But I think looking at him now, I think that is where he needs to improve because he still has it.
Yes.
The talent is there, It's just a matter of really getting it where it should be.
No, I agree with you. And the event has changed since he won the World Junior Championship. But there you go. All right, gentlemen, hold on. We're going to go to another one. DeAndre Watkins of Elite Performance Track Club. Man, that's another one for me. I mean, he was massive in his men's 400 meters victory. 44.48. Sean Bailey, second, the throne champion, 44.65, and Jevy Powell from Edwin Island, third, 44.79. Let's hear the call on it. 400 meters final. Ream Hills and 5, University of Florida. So they're off and running for the men's 400 meters final. DeAndre Watkins is out. Zandrian Barnes is also there as well. Sean Bailey. Devon Powell is traveling nicely. So too is Hales from the University of Florida. But look at DeAndre Watkins, right on the shoulders of Zandrian Barnes. But coming at full blast is Sean Bailey and Devon Powell. They're coming into the straightaway, and Watkins takes him into the lead. But Powell now is approaching him, and still Sean Bailey, the champion, is not letting his title go just like that. But I tell you what, Zandrian Barnes, DeAndre Watkins, 44.46. What a fantastic front-running performance. I thought he was going to go away after a while, but he didn't. He stuck around and did 44.48. He's got the Olympic qualifying time, and he's going to Paris. What an upset for the books. All right, so DeAndre Watkins. Gentlemen, you know what surprised me? Not only that he went on to win the race, he ran out of lane 8. And at some point, I thought he was going to go away. And he just kept, when I say go away, just leave the lead for somebody else. But he kept going away. And every step of that race, I thought there was at some point, somebody's going to take him down. And they didn't. And he went on to win in 44-48. And it was just a delight to see. What do you guys? Mike or TC?
Definitely. And it is good to see our top 3 finishers going under 45 seconds. I don't think we have seen that for a long time. That is what it's going to take to get into the semi-final and you have to think about 43s to get into the final. But it was a good performance and another surprise package to me at the championship.
TC, did you have a chance to watch it? I mean, you were the meet manager. You had a lot on your plate. But did you get a chance to see such an outstanding performance from someone out of left field?
I didn't see it live. I caught the replay. It was a great run. He took on lane 8 and ran as if he was in the middle of the pack watching everybody. He timed his race well, got out and probably asked some questions of the rest of the field very early, got into a good position going around the top curve, and just came home with a lot of speed and strength and guts. It was a real good, refreshing run.
Yeah. It was really, really, really good. And Sean Bailey, 44.65. Javon Powell, third, 44.79.
A quality race all over. All 3 competitors were worthy of winning.
Yes. It's a changing of the guard. Powell is going to his first Olympic. Is Sean going to his first? I know DeAndre is going to his first. So it's pretty much a changing of the guard in the men's 400 meters, without question, gentlemen.
Absolutely, and it's something that we have been craving for a long time. We just hope that this 3 can go on and galvanize the rest of the pack behind them, so we could once again get a good cadre of 400-meter runners that we can pick from at any time.
And remember, the world champion the world champion has not made the team. He's still a young man as well.
Right.
There you go. All right, the women's 100 meters final. Shericka Jackson, for the 3rd year in a row, she was not just the 100-meter champion, she's a sprint double champion, but we're focusing on the 100. Yeah, she won in 10:84. Tia Clayton, second in 10:90, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, third, 10.94. Now, in 2008, yeah, so that's 12 and 4, 16. Tia would have been about 3 years old when Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price shocked the world in Beijing to win her first world Olympic title. And here she is, not only on the same team with Shelly-Ann, but beating Shelly-Ann to get on the team. Let's listen back to the call on this one. Marks in the set position. And there they go. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price didn't get the greatest of starts, but she's still there. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Tia Clayton. There's Shericka Jackson coming through the middle. Shericka Jackson comes across the line in 10.79 seconds. That's the flash time. Tia Clayton replicated what she did in the semi-final. Maybe not the time, but she's on the plane. 2 MVP girls are on the plane. Who was the third one?
It's between Shelly and Sacha Lee.
It looked a clear Shelly-Ann to me. 10:84, the official time for Shericka Jackson. Wow.
Shelly gets it.
Shelly-Ann.
It looks like Shelly gets it.
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, definitely makes another Olympic team.
So Daniel Dowie and Michael Carr on commentary with me for that particular 100 meters. So Michael, I'm going to give you the first, jump at this one. The Shericka Jackson was the favorite going in, no question about it. The question was, could Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, having not run all season literally, come here and suddenly book a spot on the plane for her swan song, her last Olympic Games? And then the question was, which of the new breeds would be on the plane with Shericka, and if Shelly-Ann got on it? In the end, the answer came from Tia Clayton.
Yes, and I'm so happy for them because I understand the road they have traveled to be where they are now. And Sharika, of course, as you said, was the favorite, or at least was my favorite. But what I'm happy for is that Shelly booked a ticket to the Olympics. And, of course, it will be her final Olympics, I believe. And for that, I'm happy. And the mission was to get on the team to the Olympic Games. Now, when she gets there now, that's going to be another story. But as far as Tia Clayton is concerned, let's lift our hat to the MVP camp for getting her to where she is.
Yeah.
Because she was one of those who was on the wing, and now she has stepped forward. And, of course, Sharika did what was expected. And, again, her top-end speed showed in the last 30 meters when the top-end speed chipped in. You could see her joining and moving away. So that trio, awesome. And to see all three ladies are under 11 seconds, that is even more awesome.
Yeah. Trevor, Tina was the one who set the standards in when they were at Edwin Allen and winning world under 20 titles and so on and so forth. The improvement here by Tia is what has surprised many. And as I said, Tina was the one everybody was looking forward to make the breakthrough to get to the Olympic Games.
But can I tell you, I heard from in the camp, of course, that she was now running in front of the other sister.
Yeah.
And she's going to be the surprise package, but 1090, that is a little bit more than a surprise for me, you know.
TC, when they joined the MVP camp, Stephen Francis famously came out and said, you know, while Tina is setting the standards, he thinks that Tia is the one who will become the big one when he takes them over. And what a statement. The people literally laughed at him. Look at her now.
Because I think that Steve realized who was going to be the worker. Who was going to be the person that's going to do the job without thinking about it. And I think that's what has propelled her to where she is, and deservingly. I was wondering for a moment whether or not they were going to make the transition as quickly as they did.
You're not alone. You're not alone with that, brother. I was with you on that too.
There were some stumbling along the way, some wobbling, and you said, "Wow, maybe it's not this year. It's going to be next year." But we're happy that it is this year because we surely, could use a young blood with Shelley, the age that she is. And before I go any further with that, I have never heard a crowd cheer for a third place finisher like they did for Shelley at the national championship after the 100. Never heard it.
Well, you understand why, right? You understand why?
Absolutely. But, that's what she has done to her country. She has captivated all our hearts. And everybody actually was hoping that it would have been her. And when it was declared her, the whole place erupted, and it was good.
Yeah.
To have that kind of reception.
Right. Just going back to Tia a bit, I was wondering myself if they were going to make the transition. And I was talking to somebody close to the camp, and they were telling me that, it was deliberate because when they got there, the coach heard they were eating ice cream. They were eating their burgers. And, a coach would normally call in and say, "What is that?" He said, "No, man, you allowed them." They went in, and they believed that he didn't know. They had their ice cream. They had whatever. Spend what they want to spend. Do what they want to do. Go to parties if they want to do. Just allow them to. And I heard that the comment from the coach was, "Don't worry about it. They're young. You don't want to just bring them in, take them out of high school, and then throw them into a situation where they can't enjoy their youth. Allow them to eat it. Give them another year or two. And then they'll suddenly have to stop eating it because they'll realize now that they're not doing well, and the reason they're not doing well is because of that. But if you just suddenly take them off it, you're going to mess up their equilibrium and everything."
Wise move.
When I heard it, I said, "What?" And you understand why this man is so brilliant.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you see, he's not just coaching the body.
Yes.
He's not just coaching the body. He's also coaching the brain. The thought patterns. And he's right. If he had just gone in and draconianly just taken everything away from them, he would have had a struggle. But to allow them to realize for themselves that the part that they're on won't get it done was a brilliant move.
He said just allow them. At some point, they're going to wonder how we were so good, and then the transition is
all
not
of a
being
sudden
made.
we're not good anymore.
Yes, and then they will figure it out. He didn't have to take them off the ice cream of the burger. They'll have to come off because they realize now. So, he didn't do like what Michael Carr would do at Ole Miss. All right, so, Mikey, be honest. If you hear that some of your girls are eating ice cream and burger and so, you go for them.
Riot act.
No, you. Well, probably it depends. You need the riot act it, and then it depends on when, and
Yeah, but you see, he didn't take them off. They found out themselves. Because they started to do self-introspection.
Also, what you have to look at too is the journey. Right? The journey that at certain level.
Yes.
Yes, the journey is much shorter at some level to some other level. So,
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to probably pull back a little quicker than at the next level.
Yes. All right. So, gentlemen, the big one, not just big in the news, but big in individual. Kishane Thompson, the men's 100 meters. Man did 984, 982, and then he came back and he threw the 977 in the final. Oblique came in as the big man because he defeated Noah about 2 weeks coming in. And, Oblique looked good in the semi-final. In fact, he responded to Kishane's 982 by running 983. And we said, wow, what we're going to be having here at the stadium in another 2 hours from now. And then he came in and he was beaten by Oblique, by Kishane. 982 was his time, and Akeem Blake was third in 992. Let's hear it. All hands behind the white line. Deep in concentration. They let them go. Brian Lavelle got off to a good start. Kishane Thompson and Oblique Seville. But Thompson has Seville covered. And he's looking across. In fact, what a disdainful performance. What a disdainful performance from this outstanding phenom out of MVP. We called it. We did say there's no way Seville is going to beat Kishane in this kind of form. 9.73 is the fastest man in the world this year, and just now must be the favorite to win the gold medal in Paris. Kishane Thompson, formerly of Garvey Maceo High School in Clarendon, is the national 100 meters champion, and for the second year the national 100 meters champion is from MVP. What a performance.
9.77, the official winning time for Kishane Thompson, and he's just stormed off the track. His spike's still on. I don't know if he picked up any of his belongings. He just stormed through the tunnel and over back to Stadium East. He's not talking to anybody right now.
That's Daniel Dowie. But what had me laughing there was Michael in the background. Where were you gone? Michael, you were on the air, sir.
Where gone, Mikey?
Gentlemen, I'm sure you would have heard the explanation by now why he ran away. Why he ran away. I actually caught up with him on Monday. Somehow I caught up with him on Monday. He wasn't able to train. When I got to the training session in the morning, he was doing physio. Let me not say he wasn't able to train. He didn't train. He was doing physio. So to say he wasn't able to train, or it would give a different impression. But he didn't train. He was doing more physio than anything else. And of course, he explained. All right, so TC, let me give you the one here. Kishane Thompson last year did 991 and didn't come back. And everybody was wondering what happened. He went away and he closed this season with 987, 983. And people were saying, wow, what is going on? But he didn't do the rounds. All he did was one-off races. And that's it. And when he came into 2024, people were saying, if that guy up at MVP, people didn't even remember what the name was. If he could replicate what he did this year, get stronger, get better, then who knows? We could have two Thompsons winning the 100 meters in Paris, because at the time they were looking at Elaine Thompson as well. And they still had the possibility of two Thompsons winning the 100 meters. All season, we didn't see him, and people were wondering what is happening. And then a week before the champion, Stephen Francis came out, and he said, Kishane Thompson is going to produce something special at the National Stadium. And everybody starts, just shut up, because once Stephen talks, that's law. And look at what we have, 977, the fastest man in the world this year, the 4th fastest Jamaican all time, and the 14th fastest time in history from a man who has never run around in the 100 meters. TC, take it away.
You know, Never Mighton has a knack of spotting talent from very young. Never has been gone from us now some 3 years, but maybe 2 years before he died, he was saying to close friends that this youngster is going to be the man. And he certainly was right. I saw him at the last all-comers before the championships, and he caught my eyes because getting out of the blocks for a man his size is an art. Only maybe a Safa I've seen done that. And he was doing it on a regular basis at the all-comers, and I'm saying this youngster, if he could put the rest of the race together, he's going to be very hard to beat. And so I'm not very surprised that he won. I'm a little taken aback at the time that he posted, but he is the real deal. Take it from me. He's the real deal.
Michael, I told him on Monday when I was talking to him, and I didn't have to tell him because he knew. He easily could have gone 9-6. In fact, he said when he saw that he was going to win the race, he tried to pull back because winning the race wasn't his aim. He just wanted to qualify, and then at that point he realized he was going faster than what the coach wanted him to do, and he tried to pull himself back. He looked over to oblique twice and still come across the line in 9.77. And I said to him, you threw away at the first 9.6 in the stadium, and he said he knew.
Wayne, sorry, Michael, let me cut in. Wayne, he didn't stop. He wasn't just looking. He stopped running at 60.
That was the instruction to run 60 meters. That's what the coach told him.
He actually stopped running at 60, and after that, all he did was to match stride and to look at the clock.
Michael,
I tell you, I think there's something special on the way. Yes, something special is on the way from Kushane. That 100, it was out of this world, I would say, because Oblique was a favorite. We all know that. Oblique ran well, Oblique beat Bynes the other day. But here comes Kushane. And the way he did it that is what makes you shiver. The way it was done. Cruising, and still winning. So what will happen when all the gears are selected? Can you imagine what can happen?
Yeah.
I just hope that when the gears are being selected, that the selector will do it as calmly and as expertly as he did just now, because it's going to take a certain amount of relaxation to repeat that. I don't want him going out there rushing to do that in the future. He's just now going to have to understand that I can do this, and I don't have to try so hard to do it.
Mm-hmm. I think the instructions that he'll be getting, if he goes by those instructions, it can work out for him.
Yeah, because I was going to say that we don't need to worry about how he's going to execute and what he's going to do and what he's not going to do. He's in the best hand possible. There's nobody who knows better how to prepare somebody for the 100 meters at the Olympic Games better than Stephen. He has won the last 4 women's 100 meters gold medal at the Olympics. The last 4, Stephen Francis won them. So he knows exactly how to put them together. Kushane, I think he can run the Olympic record, which is 9.63. I really think he can do that. I don't know. They're taking him down now. Of course, they're going to load him back up, and he's going to run through the load. So you're not going to see him run this fast until Paris. I just
Please don't.
Yeah, I don't think Stephen is going to let him run this fast. What I think he'll do is try to load him, but while he's loading him, he's going to allow him to run through the load. So he's going to run, just to prepare for the Paris Olympic Games, and the fast times will have to come in Paris. But I just don't expect to see him run fast again until Paris. In fact, I don't think Stephen wants him to run, at all. I mean, they're gone off to Italy now, and he's going to be there for, a couple of weeks and getting ready. Maybe some low-key meets or so on. But
maybe some low-key meets.
Right. Some low-key meets, and then running to instructions as well. But let him go full blast in Paris. So it has changed the dynamics now, gentlemen, you would agree, because when we saw Oblique against Noah at the stadium at the Racers Grand Prix, we thought that, okay, give or take Sambini, give or take Omanyala, because he's run 9.79 so far this season. And then we were looking at Christian, didn't make it at the US trials. I don't know what Jacobs, the defending Olympic champion, is going to come to Paris with. You know, I think it was wide open before Kishane, but now he's got to be the favorite. I mean, Noah Lyles has never run anywhere close to 9.7s, never. And this boy just ran one race, three races in a 2-day span, and he's down to 9.77. Asafa's record is 9.72. So suddenly we're going to have the third fastest Jamaican all time being Kishane, because I expect him to easily go by that 9.72.
And look at the times he did before running the 9.7.
Right.
9.80 9.82, something like that.
Right. 9.84, 9.82.
Thank you very much. So he's consistent.
That's a key.
Which mean that 980 is his heat time, and of course, you know, come semifinals, we're talking about 9.7s, and the path is clear.
TC, I think you summed that up brilliantly just now. He's a 980 man in the heat.
Yeah.
And if you can be a 980 man in the heat, the last man who is consistent at 980 in the heat, you know who that is.
Yes.
The greatest of them all. So he's following a nice pathway there.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at.
There you go.
You know, it will be difficult. I'd be very disappointed if he should come to the heat or one of the preliminary rounds and run 9.9 and stuff like that. I'd be really disappointed. I'd be really wondering if something wrong. You know, he should be able to walk 9.4 going forward.
Without question. Without question. All right. Akira Nugent, Daniel, you were saying something, Michael?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Akira Nugent, Daniel Williams, and Jeannick Brown will all represent the country in Paris in the women's sprint hurdles. The big surprise here for a lot of people, not me, because I said it in the group, I said it to people, that Jeannick Brown will be on the plane come what may. And I only said that because I was talking to somebody in the camp one day, and I was saying, how do you see the 100 hurdles? They didn't tell me who was going to win or going to finish second. All they said to me was, Wayne, Jeannick is going to be on the team, irrespective of who makes the team. And I said, are you serious? And I said, yeah, she's going to be on. It doesn't matter who make it, she will be there. And the day of the start of the championship, I call back and I say, have you changed your mind? They said, no, Jeannick is going to be on the team. It comes down to who else. And when she made that team on Sunday, I was totally stunned. Stunned in that the person could have said it, and it happened. When you think about what Jeannick has not or has done all season vis-a-vis the other girls, for her to get into the top 3 in a stacked field like that, it was just brilliant. Let's listen to the call. On their mark, in the set position, and they're off. Daniel Williams didn't get out to a bad start, but Akira Nugent is ready in the lead slightly. Jeannick Brown is also there. Daniel Williams is also there as well, but it's Akira Nugent taking them along. Daniel Williams is there. Look at Jeannick Brown, she makes the team. Daniel Williams is second, but the star of the show is Akira Nugent. What a performance. What the time is 12:25. What a star performance. She's gotten close to the national record, close to the world record. She's beaten the national record.
That is the national record.
That is the national record. Well, it's been updated to 12:28. Akira Nugent. She went to school just down the road at Excelsior High School. She went overseas and dominated on the NCAA circuit. And today, she's here as a national champion. What a performance Jeannick Brown got on the team. Yeah, I kept saying that because of what I was hearing coming in. If you notice, when the athletes went across the line, I didn't even say who won. I said Jeannick made the team because of what was in my head coming in. And then I hesitated to say national record because the flash time was 12:25. I wasn't sure that if it was going to be up or down, and I waited. 12:28, the national record. What a stunning performance from Akira Nugent. And she's done it so quickly out of high school. I mean, she came and she spoke with us. Was it the Friday, Alric? Yes, she came the Saturday. Was it the Saturday? Yeah, the Saturday she ran the heat. And she came in and she sat with us in our broadcast point. And we asked her, what was going to happen tomorrow. And she said she's just she's going to let it all out on the track and she's going to do something special. Well, she did something super special.
Absolutely. I had the privilege of being up at the start area for the 100-meter hurdles. And one of the things that I like to watch is who's acting normal and who's nervous and who's doing things out of the way. And, the two veterans, they very, very well. And
Michael, before you go, that you should have a statue on at Wolmer's Girls.
and elsewhere.
Yeah, man. I tell you.
And we know, and he has another one on his hand. We don't want to tip it too.
No, man, we all know, man. The girl from the east. East. we know.
Yeah, well, quietly, remember next one on the man. We just keep watching him.
You might say it's not down a house of drill alone. Him need the statue. Him need a statue. a statue down a Wolmer's.
Oh boy!
Come to Mikey. Yes.
I saw her in training the day before, and she was running with what's her name?
Amoy?
Yes. And she was a few steps ahead of her.
Mm-hmm.
And Amoy is a 12.5 sort of person, right? 12.5, 12.60, and she was ahead of her over a few hurdles in training. So I knew she was ready, and I think she was surprised herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was more looking at using this year as getting back into things and what have you. And she was more looking at 2025 as her breakout year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the coach, and I say this again, Sir Francis, told her she was ready, which she did not believe she was ready. So again, I lift my hat to him because he's a genius. And I'm happy for her because we all know, the road she has traveled along the way to be here. So for her, I'm very happy. But again, let us take nothing away from the performance of Akira Nugent.
Mm-hmm.
That 12:28. 28, that is awesome. That is a time that can get you on the podium on the day of the Olympics if it's executed in such a way. So it's just unfortunate about Kappa, but it's just unfortunate. Again, the veteran is still there, Williams still there. So I think we have three good competitors going into that event, and I wouldn't be surprised to see all three, or at least two out of the three in the final.
They're all three ladies are running at the Olympics for the first time.
Look at that.
Can you imagine Williams is going to Olympics for the first time?
Which is why I mentioned it a while ago. She's the one I'm really talking about, She's a two-time world champion and has never competed at the Olympic Games.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
And look how wide apart the world championships were.
Exactly.
Fresh blood on this team.
Yes. As I say, it's a changing of the guard in a lot of them.
Blood on the team, which is good.
Right.
Which is good.
But it was really stunning to watch Akira Nugent do what she did. Now the men's race provided a bit of drama. Hansa Parchment, up to 6 minutes after the race, didn't know if he was going to go to Paris to defend that Olympic 110-meter hurdles title because it was such a close race. Rashid Broadbell, at one moment they had Broadbell with at the top, then they move it to Tyler Mason. No, sorry, Orlando Bennett. Then we see Broadbell at the top again, then Orlando Bennett at second, and we're all sitting there and saying, did Hansel Parchment make this team? And eventually, after about 7 minutes, it came back. Let's listen to the call on this one. Off and growing. There's Rashid Broadbell. Now, look at the reigning Olympic champion, Hansel Parchment with them. Tyler Macy is also coming in as well. Omar McLeod is left out of this one. But Hansel Parchment looks across. It does seem as if he gets it.
Wow. No.
Hansel Parchment has come and he's done the business. Rashid Broadbell has made the team as well, and it does seem as if Tyler Mason got in.
Talk about close, Wayne. That was a
bang-up finish.
That was a blanket. That was close.
Broadbell believes that he has it. But it's Bennett. They have Bennett as the winner.
Bennett wins.
13.12.
Bennett wins 13.18. Broadbell second, 13.19.
The Olympic champion is not, not yet. Let's see. We could have the Olympic champion out. I doubt it though, because I thought he won. So he can't move from, I believe he won to third.
It was a very close race.
Yes, I know Omar didn't make it, like I've been saying. Yeah, this was a championship too early for Omar. He's coming off a long-term injury, and it's just like Brittany Anderson. They're living and training in Italy, and I just believe that it was just one championship too early for him. He looked sluggish in the semi-finals, and when he came back a day later to run the final, he didn't look much better. I mean, the time was slightly better, but he really didn't look much better. Didn't really inspire confidence, and Tyler and Orlando and Rashid and Hansel have all been running much better than he has been all season long. And in the end, Ansel Parchment got on the plane to face Grant Holloway in that massive, 110-meter hurdles in the Olympic Games. But Rashid Broadbell, though, gentlemen, he's been the consistent performer for Jamaica in the last 3 or 4 years, we must say, even though Ansel Parchment won the Olympic gold in the COVID time, and with nobody in the stadium and so on. I suppose it's safe to say Rashid Broadwell has been the standout for Jamaica in this particular event in the last 3 years at least.
Well, he has been very consistent performer. And I agree with you. He has been, even though Parchment has won the Olympic title and what have you, but Broadbell has been very consistent. And we just have to wish them all the best. Just hope that they go to the games and execute as they should. Because in hurdling, one silly mistake, simple mistake, and that's the end of the race. So we just hope that they go and execute properly and get that chance to get on the podium.
Yeah. At TC, I don't know, Omar McLeod, since winning the Olympic title in 2016 in Rio, and then, the world title before that in Beijing a year earlier, things have gone off the rockers for him. And it just seems as if he's struggling with himself personally. Take the event out of it. It just seems as if he's not here in terms of his focus and where his career is going. I mean, for me, it's a precipitous fall from where he was. He was without question the top man in the event and on the verge of becoming one of the all-time greats. And then things just started to spiral downwards.
Yeah, it's a big drop and very unfortunate because there's no doubt about it. Omar has the talent. But, looking back at his career, or any athlete's career, when you start changing managers and coaches in quick succession, it's hard to get any kind of continuity. Whatever you're stopping and starting and stopping and starting, and for him, I think that has been his biggest downfall. Coming into the championship, I don't believe that he had enough races under his belt. He was still race rusty, and ran into 3 persons who were very focused, who knew what they were about and knew what they wanted to do, and so he came up short. He's now going to have to go back to the drawing board, remake himself, as it were, and come back again and see how best he can put his career, especially the fact that he's gaining age as he goes around.
Gentlemen, we are now at July 6th, so we're 20 days away from the start of the Olympic Games. And we've got the exclusive radio broadcast rights in Jamaica. You're going to use too, along with Raymond Casey Graham, Juliet Cuthbert, you name them. We've got a really nice team put together. Quickly, before we go, I don't know if you've had the time. The team has not yet been named officially. So it's sort of technically difficult to have a medal prediction, even though we have maybe all of us could name the 90% of the team.
Yeah.
TC, what
I
sort
think it will be just the relay, the other 2 or 3 persons on the relay teams that we can't really figure out. But I think the championship have decided the team itself.
For sure. How many medals are coming back with, Michael?
I'll tell you another time.
Good, because
I was just looking at it when I'm not as timid as Mikey. I was just looking at it today, and it's a possibility. Well, we can gain 10 medals, but I think it probably end up being about 7 or 8.
What I want to know from you, who are the individual gold medals we're going to get?
See, that's a problem. It's not as easy to pick these winners. We're going to have to wait a bit and see what happens in another week or so before I spout out on that.
Fair enough. You show that you're not as timid as some person. You're right. You're right, TC. You're right.
My friends still doing
I know, man.
We both say the same thing, just different words.
Yeah, but Michael, Alex, say you're timid.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure having you guys here, and looking forward to linking up with you during the Olympic Games and to get your as usual, great analysis of track and field as usual. Have a good rest of the weekend.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Mikey, before we go, you need to talk to Mr. Francis because I think him owe you.
I'm going to take on a personal business out if you flip.
Yes.
All right, take care. Yes, I'm picking up now. It's okay. All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Take care. All right, Trevor T.C. Campbell and Michael Carr there. Helping us to look back at the National Athletics Championship, which ended at the National Stadium on Sunday. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we have a bit of horse racing. That's what we're going to go to. Yeah, we're going to be talking to Solomon Sharp. He's chairman of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Experience Jamaica's Olympic triumphs in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
Usain Bolt won his second gold medal of the Beijing Olympics and Jamaica's 10th overall when he ran a world record of 19.30 seconds to win the men's 200 meters final.
You just experienced a Jamaican Olympic triumph in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
Welcome back to Sports Nation Live, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Alex Swaby is my co-host. He'll be coming in a little, well, he's here, but he'll be coming back into the studio a little later on, playing the role of producer at the minute. Now, we're turning our attention to horse racing, yeah? Tomorrow is St. Leger Day at Caymanas Park. It should have been today, but of course, the passage of Hurricane Beryl forced a lot of alterations in a number of establishments and events, and horse racing is one of those that it was so affected in terms of having to shift things around, not necessarily because of structural damage, but other technical areas that need to be worked on, for the show to continue. And the chairman of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited, SVREL, Solomon Sharp, says they experienced minor damage to the premises at Caymanas Park during the passage of the hurricane. And he says, they continue the cleanup exercises. I suppose by the end of business today, they should be done and getting ready for horse racing tomorrow. And I think on Monday as well. Mr. Solomon Sharp is here to talk to us about it, and we waste no more time. Mr. Sharp, good evening. How are you doing?
How are you, Mr. Walker? I'm good, thank you.
I'm very, very well, man. How are you?
I'm good. I just feel a little strange here. Saturday.
And no racing, I know.
No live racing,
I know.
And so funny, on the road when we travel, the foreigners asked us, so when do you guys race? And we said, every Saturday. And then, the only days we miss are public holidays and,
Yes.
Good Friday and Christmas, if Christmas falls on a Saturday.
Yes.
But every Saturday and the public holidays except Christmas and Good Friday. So it was kind of weird for this Saturday not to be a race day,
Yeah. It's insulting to ask you if you visited the park today. So the question is, how is the park?
I think the park is in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Caymanas Park, the business, the people involved in Caymanas Park, after 65 years, we have proven, just like the people of Jamaica, to be resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy to keep up a park of 65 years old and 196 acres, but it takes a lot of hard work. But the team put in a lot of work, showing a lot of commitment. And the big difference this time, Wayne, was the support that we got from the horsemen. Every horseman pretty much called out to say, how can I help? And that's a new thing. That's a different thing happening at Caymanas. So one of the things that I tried to engender at Caymanas Park was a new culture and the way forward. And that was really welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Trainers were there up to Tuesday, Wednesday, put it in the last minute effort with the team to say, hey, did you capture that area? Did you capture that area? And I don't know if it is that we didn't get the amount of rainfall, but the plant stood up well, the racetrack stood up well, the breeze that we got, we're blessed, but it's unfortunate for some of the others in the island. But so far, so good.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't want to leave out anybody and disenfranchise anybody. And we knew from early that we had to move this race meet to Sunday if we got a chance to race at all. There's a possibility of even running it on Monday because of the importance of the St. Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have, criticized us for saying, why are we running the Sunday card on Monday and people have to go to work? But remember now, these horsemen that have prepared these horses to run on Sunday have prepared them a month out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also work for them, and it's also an opportunity for them to earn and how they earn their living.
Yeah.
So it was hard to take away our earning opportunity for 9 races, and you pay out about 50 or 60 different people over those 9 races. So you didn't want to make anybody lose out. So we came out okay. We crossed the T's with that today. You still have a couple of stables that are not back up 100% to the electricity because there are still some stables that depend on the grid. The grid just came back today, but there are still some other issues. So when the grid comes back, it then highlights the other areas that you might need to fix a little pothead here and there. But so far, so good. Everybody's raring to go, and it's really shaping up to be an exciting race. I just watched a race earlier, the Indiana Derby, and the second favorite one, and the guys were saying after that the whole 3-year-old class in North America is thrown wide open because it's a different winner every time for all the different races, and there's not a clear-cut 3-year-old. And I think a similar kind of pattern is shaping up in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
The filly, she's red hot right now. She won her first race going into the Guineas, won the Guineas. One horse that went into the Kingston that was a favorite for the Guineas didn't win. And then we're hearing all kind of things from different connections. I saw connections of Supremacy last night, and they said they can't lose. Everybody's saying, well, Supremacy and Captain Spire are the only, well, not the only two in the race that have gone two-turn, but the last time both of them ran two-turn, they came first and second. The rumor has it that Roman says he's not coming off of Supremacy, even though he came second, because he potentially, I guess, could have ridden Captain Sparrow. The connections of Captain Sparrow were willing to go as far as England to get a jockey.
Oh.
But, with the unsurety of travel and it being Saturday and a big day.
Yeah, they decided to not go it.
Right, and then the Costa Camp is also jumping the bit and did way of exercise. So
yeah,
we're expecting some fireworks.
Yeah, but before we move ahead to tomorrow's St. Leger, I just wanted to ask you, going into the hurricane on Wednesday, did you fear the worst?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, I made some jokes with my classmates that, hey, I need them to guide me because I didn't spend too much time in geography class, and I lightened the load for the teachers in geography, so I didn't learn enough to be able to track this hurricane. And I made it easier for a lot of them to learn a lot more because the teacher had a lot less students. So they laughed and said they appreciated it, but I was trying to make banter out of something serious because I was really fearing the worst. And but we were lucky this time. Cayman has suffered tremendous damage in the past from a hurricane. Knock on wood, we had to be shut down 4 months for COVID. So yeah, it's
how quickly you got over there? How quickly you got over there? After
I was there the next morning.
Oh, the next morning.
But I'm always there, so it doesn't matter where in the world I am. People in every crevice of Cayman and Spa communicates with me. My team gets annoyed sometimes because they get a message at 5 o'clock in the morning that something is happening. They get a message at midday that something is happening, and they, as far as they know, I'm somewhere else in the world. So how can I know all of what is happening all the time? And do remember that I do have my own horses, so I have to keep in touch with my own stable and all the happenings.
Yes.
So I'm well connected, well rooted, and I try to run a different system that it doesn't matter where in the world I am, I'm always plugged in, and I'm always plugged into Cayman.
That we know. All right, so tomorrow now is St. Leger Day. How many races on the card tomorrow?
10.
And the St. Leger will be the
10th race.
The last one on the program. All right. So the St. Leger, of course, one leg of the Triple Crown, local horse racing's Triple Crown. So it will definitely attract some of the biggies in the country, if not all the big ones. What sort of a race can we expect? And who are some of the horses in that race that people should be looking out for?
All right, hold on. Let me while we're talking, let me open up my race paper. I don't have photographic memory anymore. I'm not so young anymore, but I'll go through the starters.
Yes.
But when you go on CaymanHorseRacing.com quickly, you can get all the information.
Yeah, but I would want you as the chairman to sort of,
point us in I'm going to give you a full rundown. Yes. So I have 11 runners. We have Macan Rome with Aaron Chattery coming off of a win. We have Allegiance that shaped up well out of the Baba Nunes camp, but, kind of tailed off a little bit. I told you about Supremacy. He won the race before this. He then came second. Roman said he's not coming off. Captain Sparrow won impressively, going 2 turns the last time. And he has journeyman Philip Parchment up. The camp is very big on him. Ryan Lewis could have ridden Captain Sparrow back-to-back, but instead he's coming off of back-to-back wins off of Run Julie Run. So he's stuck aboard the filly. When you look on the filly's class, she's very classy, but when you also look at her dam line on her breeding, she's bred to go 2 turns. So she worked extremely well last weekend. So, you know, with the former champion jockey up, Brian Lewis, you know. Interesting times ahead. Needs no introduction. Tevin Foster is back. He's feeling very confident as well. California Crown made it all last time and is coming off of 3 straight victories. So, Halladine says, well, he knew from it was a baby that this was his Derby horse and, you know, he wasn't coming off of him. Brenda's boy might prove to be a fly in the ointment. King Pie is still seems to be getting it together, and races like this can produce surprises. Provident out of the Jason DaCosta horses have they've said that he has not come on yet, and you know races like this bring on horses.
Yeah.
So he's been chasing his stablemates, and he came second the last time out. And very interestingly, Shane Ellis has left Woodbine to come and ride Crown Chaser.
Yeah, I was told that he was on the island. I was wondering who he was going to ride.
Very much here has been at exercise.
Yes.
And if you know Shane Ellis, has a big personality, so he's been smiling all morning. And he's like, I didn't come here all the way from Woodbine to joke, and he would have had success with these connections before with Supreme Soul, etc. So when you see Shane Ellis flying in all the way from Woodbine, having not been here for a couple of years,
you know it's serious.
It's real serious business.
All right. So who start favorite, Solomon?
Good question. You know, I think it's between Interesting Times Ahead, Captain Sparrow, and Run Julie Run. Yeah. Even though California Crown won impressively last time, so it's going to be I would say an evenly bet race. But you know, this is one of the races that we don't necessarily pay a lot of attention on who is the favorite and who is not the favorite, but we look at you know who is coming in. It's like the 100-meter final last week with Kishian and Oblique, you know, who's coming in with the right kind of thing, and then you have some horses that won't necessarily think that they're at the class to win yet, but the young man that came third, so it's still important to come third in a big race like this.
Right.
It's good for breeding, it's good for the industry, it's good for the connection, so it's going to be a humdinger of a race tomorrow.
Yeah. What kind of crowd are you expecting at the park tomorrow?
Well, I think we're expecting a reasonable crowd. The park has a capacity of about 10,000.
Yes.
I would say we're going to get about 6,500. I think some people are still recovering.
Right.
But the fact that we have shifted it to the Sunday and people are just about getting over their clean-up campaign, and they have some, they've been locked up on some pent-up energy. So I think a whole bunch of people, I've gotten at least 8 calls today.
To ask if racing is on tomorrow.
Sunday, I'm available to come tomorrow.
Right.
Can I get tickets?
Right.
And you know, so they're coming over. So I expect a very, 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 very good crowd tomorrow.
Yeah. What about your OTBs? Have they been affected, or have you checked in with them to see how they're doing?
Yeah, man. No, we're constantly in dialogue with the OTBs. So out of the OTBs, 90% of them are reconnecting. There was one, unfortunately, Charles OTB in Mandeville, that was completely wiped out.
Wow.
Based on the
hurricane,
the damage to Ola building. But we've been in constant dialogue. We're sending the uplink, and the team is constantly checking. And this is one of the main reasons why we switched. Because remember, it's an ecosystem. It's people's investments, people's businesses. So you give the horses one extra day to get their stride back in, because on the Thursday morning, rather, they would have had a canter. They didn't get to have that canter, that bit of exercise. So we gave them that extra day to stretch out again, to get back on their feet fully. We gave the OTBs enough time to get back on the system. We had to do some internal work, because we had to turn on all the dishes and do all the downlinks and all the preparation work. So we had to now put back all the dishes into the uplink position to send the signals.
Okay.
But it's all systems go, and I think that we will get at least 90% of the OTB capacity tomorrow. And for those who can't log on, it's a pity. It's sad. We wish we could wait on you, but we'll be around, you know.
Well,
and just have to keep going.
Well, it's a big race day tomorrow, and I'm sure the punters will either be there at Caymanas Park in person to support. If not, they'll go to the OTBs around the country, which are operational, and make the day overall a success. Solomon Sharp, it was great talking to you. Yes, quickly.
Don't forget that you can log on caymanasracing.com and go to our live stream, or you can go on YouTube and go to Caymanas Racing and go on our live stream. So no matter where in the world I'm always plugged into Caymanas Park, always connected. I do check in from time to time for the updates coming from Nationwide. So I can't thank you guys enough for the support that you have always given, even when you ask the tough questions.
Not a problem. That's what we're here for, to be fair to all concerned. Thanks, Solomon Sharp. All the best to you tomorrow. We'll be keeping our eyes over there.
All right, thank you. And please, to all our punters and all our horsemen, stay blessed.
Thanks a lot, man. Solomon Sharp there, chairman of the Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited, SVREL. And, of course, a big day tomorrow at Caymanas Park. St. Leger Day. It should have been today, but because of the passage of Hurricane Beryl, they've decided to give the horses an extra day to get the canter in. As you heard him say, they would have normally done it on Thursday morning, but the hurricane passed and went late Thursday, so that didn't happen, and they got that in today. So they're at full blast for tomorrow at Caymanas Park. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, of course, Heimer Hallgrimsson resigned by mutual consent as head coach of the Jamaica national senior football team. We're going to be talking to head of the technical committee, Rudolph Speed, who will be recommending who will be the next coach of the team. And he'll tell us about the separation and what's a search for the new coach is like at the minute. So we're going to go for the break. When we come back, we'll talk football with Rudolph Speed.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
This summer, transform your summer body with the Express Fitness Gym. For just $9,500 on AutoPay, you'll get access to all our locations 24/7. Enjoy free classes, fully air-conditioned facilities, showers, and changing rooms. Plus, our certified trainers are here to help you reach your goals. Visit Express Fitness Gym today. Your goal is our mission. Find a location near you or sign up now at pay.expressfitnessja.com.
My name is Dujan and I come from Appleton Basic School. My Olympic hero is Usain Bolt.
Away cleanly, Bolt has got a very good start indeed.
One of my mottos is that, anything is possible. Don't think limits on that. And I feel that I've proven that throughout the years. I never thought I would be this great at what I've done. But I want to say to the young kids growing up, just live your dream, work hard, stay focused, and just be strong and just keep on pushing and it will come true. So thank you.
Watch the clock, it's goal for Bolt, and again, he's done it again. A new world record for Usain Bolt.
Stay tuned to the Paris Olympic at Nationwide 90 FM.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Those oldies but goodies reminds me of you.
Okay, good evening. Welcome back to Sports Nation Live. I am Alric Swaby. I am doing this segment of the Sports Nation Live with our bodybuilders. I was expecting some persons with more muscles than myself, but unfortunately, I could have gone to the championships and won all categories. But it's just that I had to be at the national track junior and senior championships on that weekend, why I didn't beat the likes of Matthew Danville and others. But Matthew Danville, Brianna Johnson and Lacola Newman are three of the top performers at the recent Jabford Novice Junior Classic and Elite Bodybuilding Championships. They join us this evening to share some of their experiences, the journey on winning the various categories. Now, to my far right is Matthew, to my immediate right is Brianna, and to my left is Lacola. Is Lacola or Lacola?
Lacola.
Okay, Lacola. It's Lacola. So it's Coca-Cola that's laying down or something, I don't know. But they were three of the top performers at the championships. Let me start with you, Lacola. Share with us your journey. What was it like preparing for the championships?
Preparation for me, to be honest, it's a mental challenge more than or as much as how it's a physical challenge for me. So I definitely had to get mentally prepared before even stepping into the gym. And me being mentally prepared was me going out there and watching the shows for myself. And then getting that mental support, persons around me that go through the competition for themselves are able to talk to me and just motivate me. Like I said, all this has to happen before actually getting in the gym for me.
That sounds like it's your first time competing.
It was my first time competing, yes.
What motivated you?
To compete?
To compete.
To be honest, initially competing, I was supposed to compete last year.
You got scared.
I wasn't mentally prepared. That's what it was for me. And then I backed out last minute. And with that, like I said, I had to get into that mental cage, whereas I'm like, okay, this is it. This is what you're gonna do. And then, like I said, I had friends around me that were about the competition, knew about it, knew what I had in me before I knew I had in me. And there and then, it was just full speed ahead.
Okay, and I must tell the listeners that Lacola is the winner of the novice women's physique, and she heard that Brianna was competing last year, and she got scared and pulled out. But let's bring Brianna in. Brianna, good evening again, and welcome to the show. You are the winner of the Junior Bikini Wellness and Novice Bikini Wellness classes. Seems that the competition was so easy you could enter two categories and win. That means yes.
Okay. No, it wasn't easy, but I would say, as Lacola had mentioned, it's really a lot of mental preparedness that you have to do. So yes, you go into the gym, yes, you go in there to train, but when you think about the dieting for me was my biggest challenge because I love my belly bad. I'm not telling a lie. So for me, diet has always been a little, how to say, hiccup on my fitness journey. So having to stick to the diet plan, listening to my coach, making sure that I'm following through was one of my greatest challenges. So yes, I came out victorious, thank God, but it was indeed one of the most difficult things that I ever did. And here I am, and it's just full speed ahead, as Leikola said. The journey was not easy. But when you really tap into that warrior inside, when you focus on the reason why you're doing it, and you say, all right, this is the plan, right? This is a goal, and this is a plan. This is what I need to do in order to move from point A to point B. As long as that is clear, nothing else matters. When I get into the gym, it's just beast mode. When I go home, dieting. If I even have to cry to eat the food, I might sound crazy, but there are times when I'm at work and I shed tears just to eat the food, because it's not easy. Eating the same thing over and over. You'd want to eat other things, because eating is one of the hardest things for most of us Jamaicans. We love nice food. We love ackee and saltfish, with rice and peas, with fried chicken. We love that. But when you understand that bodybuilding is no joke. People see us on stage. Yes, we're on stage in our heels, in our bikinis, whatever they call it, and our hair and whatever, the makeup. Yes, we're there. We're presenting, we're displaying the hard work, we're displaying the results, but the work that it takes to get there, it's far more harder than everybody thinks it is.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm a veteran. I can just get up and go up and win the competition.
Just like this.
Just like that.
I bet you would.
Yeah, because I walk around with a six-pack all day. I'm talking about the six-pack that I travel with when I'm going overseas and stuff like that.
Okay. So you pack it on.
Well, we have Matthew Donville. He is the only male in studio with us today. He won the novice classic bodybuilding, no muscle whatsoever. I don't know how he won, or maybe he didn't carry the muscles because
he packed them up.
because it's raining and he didn't want them to wash away or something like that. Let's bring Matthew in. Matthew, tell us what your journey was like.
It's about the same as what they're saying. It's all about the mental part of it. It is 24/7. From the moment you wake up, it's like you feel fatigued, you feel tired, especially as you get closer to the show. Your dieting gets harder and harder, especially the week before when you have to change everything. You drop carbs out of your diet, you start to get slow. For me, the mental challenge of competing was the biggest thing for me. I wanted to see if I could do it. So you're standing on stage in front of all these people, comparing your body against other people, like it takes a lot of mental strength, and for me that was the biggest thing. Like, I want to get that challenge. I want to see if I can do it, and thankfully I was able to do it.
Right, and winning the novice classic bodybuilding. Tell us about that category. What's that category all about?
So, classic bodybuilding is separate from normal bodybuilding. For normal bodybuilding, it's just how much muscle you can build, like the biggest muscles you can possibly get. Like, there's no standard. But for classic, it's more of like an aesthetic look. You know, broad shoulders, small waist, big legs. It's how everything forms together. So, classic physique is a very, very specific category compared to the other bodybuilding categories. So, it's all about leanness, aesthetics, and everything kind of shaping up properly.
In other words, Alex Raby.
Basically.
Let me come back to you, Leikola. Tell me what was it like competing in your category? Novice women's physique. Novice meaning you don't know what you're doing. That's.
Well, I know what I mean now, but it's basically overall physique. It's the X factor, you know, having the proportional of what your body is supposed to look like, with definition, with a little muscularity, you know. And to be honest with you, me entering JobFor was not to do the novice women's physique category. It was to do what Brianna won.
But here that Brianna was in that category, so let me...
No, that was not the reason why. I went to the posing sessions that JobFor did, which I think was incredible for JobFor. And I realized that my upper body muscularity was a little bit more defined than what was supposed to be offered in wellness.
In other words, you look better than Brianna.
I can try putting it
But they made me realize that I could do both, but I could really look into the body, the novice women's physique, because that's really where my strength is. I do love, as a female, I do love doing upper body exercises, and they kind of just pushed me into that where I came out on top. And not to say anything, but even the girls that were within that category did exceptionally well, and made me feel a little bit threatened every now and then. But but it was, like I said, thanks to Job 4, they definitely put me in the right position, made me focus more on what my strengths were, and just makes me want to do this so much more. So a little bit on what novice women's physique.
So, in terms of the competition, how strong was, like you said they intimidated you a bit. Is it that they intimidated you because of their body mass, or how they looked, or the fact that they would have entered before? What intimidated you?
Well, to be honest, when I saw one of the girls, I thought she was pro, first of all. One of the, I don't remember her name, but when I saw one of the girls, I think her name is Alicia. Nicole, I think.
Nicole, yeah.
Yeah. I thought she was pro when I saw her. And then I saw her changing her clothes, and I'm like, I wish I go. So, the little intimidation was there, but I'm glad I came out victorious. It just shows how much work I put in. It shows how much work my trainer put in, Delmar Graham. It shows how much support I got from even Ginger Shot Squad is what my friends and I call ourselves at the gym. It just shows how much support they gave me. So
Ginger Shot Squad. What?
You have to be there, Alric. Ginger Shot Squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was very competitive.
It was, to an extent. I mean, it was just 3 of us within the category. But yeah, the girls really came out, and I'm pretty sure the judges had a slight of a difficult time figuring out who was gonna win, but obviously.
What do you think pushed you over the edge?
Like I said, I think I had more of what the category asked for. Women's physique being that overall effect, having that proportional upper body, lower body, smaller midsection. I think I had that a little bit more over the other girls.
Than the other girls, that's what you're saying. Okay, let me go back to you, Brianna. After scaring Lekola out of your category, tell me what was it like? I mean, the other girls braved it and go up against you. What was the competition like? I mean, you won 2 categories. I'm wondering if there was much competition, but how strong a competition was it?
Well, I mean, I was scared by Lekola. To begin with, when I went to my first posing session with Jaffa, I saw her there and I was like, okay. But at that time, I wasn't really sure what my category needed from me, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is so muscular. She looks so toned, so defined. She go win, right? So I always had her in the review, like, all right, she not beat me. But on the day of the competition, I must say that maybe the second time I got on stage, I felt the heat. The ladies came out, they did exceptionally well. But again, each category requires a certain physique. And my physique, training with my coach, Richard Daniels, he's actually a pro athlete. Big up my coach and which part him there right now. He's actually a pro athlete. So with him guiding me, Sharia Clark, she's actually a pro as well. Bikini Wellness. So I had those persons on my team machine. So having them, they have the knowledge already of what it requires for each category. So with having that in mind, I knew that my physique was what they needed, right? So of course competition was there. Each competitor came out with their own I'd say their own swing or flair to it, because everyone has a different personality, and for that it makes each competitor unique. So when they come out on stage, yes, they're displaying a different physique. It's one physique is the goal, because for wellness, for bikini wellness, it's a softer upper body, small middle section, and big legs. So that is what the judges are looking for. Everyone came out, did their thing, but at the end of the day, it's what you need to win, and I guess I had what it takes.
You had it twice.
Yes, I had it twice.
But, tell me, who was that one person that you say, okay, if I can beat her, then I know I have it all wrapped up?
All wrapped up. Honestly, that person was Lee Cola.
But she wasn't in your category.
Yes, she was.
Which other categories?
Yes, she was. She was in bikini wellness. She actually placed third in that category. Yeah.
I'm right here.
But again, Lay Cola is more, her upper body is more of a fitness athlete. So she could have win, even though she did think she gonna beat me.
Okay, let me go back to Matthew, the bodybuilder without any muscle. Tell me, Matthew, for you, who was that person that you looked at and said, okay, this is the person I have to get the better of?
So in my category, there was somebody in there, I think his name was Sean. He was significantly bigger than me. He was about 40 pounds bigger than me. But it's really just about what the category asked for. And I think on the night, my conditioning is probably what got me the win. I was just more lean, more defined, and I think that's what gave me the edge over him, because he was massive.
At any point, did you doubt yourself?
I doubted myself leading up into the competition the whole time. So, I think the moment before I stepped on stage, I was the most nervous. I was thinking, I hear the crowd cheering for him. I see him up on stage posing, the lights going off, and I'm like, yeah, he's...
Well, you turn the light off on him so they can't see him?
The lights are on. The lights are on him, sorry. And I'm like, well, he's probably going to win, but the reception that I got, the crowd there was amazing. Like, you never expected it to be as full as it was. The room was filled completely, and... You walk out on the stage and everybody starts cheering, and you realize, oh whoa, I can actually do this. I have something that people think is appealing. So it gave me more confidence as I was on the stage. It wasn't at any point leading up where I felt like I could do this. It was when I was there and I heard the crowd and I'm like, I can do this, and that's when I really got the confidence.
All right. Finally, I'm gonna go right around the room and ask this question. Just want to know what's next for each of you. Let me start with you, Leikola.
Well, of course, I'll be doing the nationals this September. I guess it depends on how you place. You get invited to the invitationals. Apart from that, I'm just loving being in the gym. It's always been a hobby of me. It's always been an escape for me. It's always been therapeutic. So for right now, that's where my head is at. I am thinking about powerlifting next year. Well, let's see how that goes.
You want to get bigger?
I want to get stronger.
Okay, no problem.
I want to get stronger.
You just don't want to be in Brianna class anymore. You want to switch categories.
I mean, we were talking about it today, and we had a little back and forth as it regards to me just going in wellness, just for the heck of it, just to see what they will place me in. Because I'm more muscular. But let's see.
They look better. That's what it is.
I'm not saying that. But yeah, I like competing with my girl. We get competitive a little bit when it comes on to crunch time, but we're always there for each other, and I love that about us.
Okay, and Brianna, what's next for you?
Well, for me, for sure, I'm thinking about the next show that's in August. Definitely will be going to nationals. That's in September. Hoping I get invited to the invitationals. For me, my big goal is actually to become a pro athlete. So for sure, putting in the work continuously. I'm in the gym every day, 5 times a week, maybe 2 to 3 hours. So for me, it's really, as Leikola said, it's my solace. It's the place where I go to. I feel most at peace. I love working out. So that for me was maybe one of the least difficult thing for me to go in the gym every day, put in the work. I enjoy that. So for sure, you will definitely be seeing me on the stage September.
Especially since you look better than a lot of people. Oh, we're not calling any names.
Let's see. I know a lot of people will be coming out, and I hope to see the competition. I'm here for it.
What you say about Lekola?
I hope to see her on stage.
Matthew, what's next for you?
I'll definitely be competing in September at the Nationals, but for right now, in the immediate future, I will be going back to powerlifting for a little bit. And then I'll start my prep for...
You want to get as big as me?
Hopefully one day.
One day. Not right now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure speaking with you, and I wish you all the best. And again, congratulations on your victories.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Lekola and Brianna, as well as Matthew, three of the top performers at the recent JAPFA bodybuilding competition. We take a break and we come back with more here on Sports Nation Live.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration land surveys also included, affordable rates and flexible payment options. NLA adjudication and land titling waivers also available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
Get ready for a show like no other. That's right. Every Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m., we're bringing you the Harvest Hour, only on Nationwide 90 FM. Join us as we dive into a soothing religious program created for your mind, body, and soul. The World Harvest Mission Church, creators of the Harvest Hour, is dedicated to making your Sundays God-fearing and saintly. Get a front row seat to moving sermons and affectionate worshiping. That's the Harvest Hour, every Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come on, let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Nationwide 90 FM is at it again!
Malay Walker is pulling away another Jamaican win.
Team Revolution Revolution will clear every hurdle and sprint to the finish as we cover the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris, the city of love.
Here comes Parchment on the outside, all the way under pressure. Handsome Parchment lands gold. A Jamaican victory in the 110 hurdles.
Nationwide's coverage is powered by our gold sponsor,
Ray and Nephew White Overproof Rum.
Welcome back to Sports Nation Live right here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker now. The Red Stripe Flavors Netball Jamaica Elite League is expected to resume tomorrow at the at the Stadium Court. No play was possible yesterday following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Now, to tell us more, we're joined by Karen Rosen, a member of the organizing committee. Karen, good evening.
Good evening, Wayne. How are you?
I am good. Long time.
I know. How did Beryl treat you?
Well, I was okay. I mean, I lost power for 5 minutes at one, and I lost power for 10 minutes another time. Outside of that, I was good. No structural damage. We didn't lose water or anything. So, knock on wood.
10 minutes. Oh, I tried.
Wow. You lost it for longer?
Yeah, we were out for 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
But
yeah. Yeah, but at the end, some people are still out, so, spare thought for those as well.
Exactly.
A lot more people picking up the pieces and so on. But it seems as if the corporate area was spared, comparatively speaking.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, because I hear this morning I was talking to somebody in St. Elizabeth, and they said the place was just devastated. Some people are suffering massively. No light, no water. There you go. There you go. Some people roof, they lost the entire roof. Some people lose their houses,
Yep.
But yeah, we give thanks. Our lives have been spared, so that's a great thing.
We do.
All right, Karen, so you've gone full blast into netball and a big player in the organizing committee of this Red Stripe Flavors Netball Jamaica Elite League. How is it? Well, no play yesterday because Beryl also affected you as well. So the competition resumes tomorrow. But generally, though, how are things going with this competition? I mean, we report on it every week. Alec has been to some of the games. I've not yet gone to any of them. I should get to some at some point. But, just tell us generally, how things have been so far.
Well, we look forward to you dropping in.
I will.
We expect you there. But first, let me say that there will be no games tomorrow.
Oh, there's none tomorrow?
Unfortunately, some of the players are in recovery mode. So we have to be sensitive to that as well, because not all the players are from the corporate area. And even some who are from the corporate area, some still don't have light, some still don't have water, some are like the key persons in their household, So we have to be sensitive to that. So unfortunately, we will not resume tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to do some in-the-week matches. If not, we'll resume on the weekend. But back to how it's been going. It's been going very, very well. The teams are very closely matched. So typically games are being won by 1 or 2 points. The lead is going back and forth during games. So you're kind of keeping everybody on the edge of their seats. So this is what we intended. This is what we hoped for. The players are getting really good experience out of this, as well as we're having very entertaining games. And of course, we have the power play period at the end of each quarter, where if you shoot from the edge of the circle, you get 2 points. So sometimes the game is won or lost on those 2 points.
Yeah.
So it's been very exciting, and we hope that that will continue right through to the finals. We know it will, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. What sort of turnout you've been getting? Is it that you've gotten good crowds for some, or it's consistently good across the competition so far?
It fluctuates. Friday nights we tend to have a better crowd, although on some Sundays it's better than the Friday before. So it depends on what's going on in sports as well, because the netball community is very sports minded. So they're not just into netball. So they'll come to netball if sometimes the crowd gets a little dispersed because there are other things going on. So like when the trials were on, we didn't really have very good crowds because the crowd people would come and then run over to the national stadium. But we've been having decent crowds. We've been playing both indoor and outdoor. We started off indoor, and then we've been playing outdoor, and we will go back indoor for the semifinals and the finals. And sometimes the rain does drive us inside as well. But generally speaking, we've been outdoors with decent crowds.
Yeah, which is what I was going to ask you, because when this competition was conceptualized, under a different name, of course, the tournament was elite, so they play them indoors to give that that sort of feel. Why you've been switching venues?
Well, to be 100% frank, it's a cost issue. So we have sponsors, and we have great sponsors who are supporting us, but we are not able to. The cost between the outdoor courts and the indoor courts it's a stark difference. So in order for us to manage costs, that is the truth. So next year, hopefully, we'll be able to have enough sponsors. Our sponsors, will come on, will see the benefit or the value of the product, especially because we've had such a good year, so that we can be inside all the time, because it is definitely our intention and our preference for the girls to be playing on the wooden floor all the time.
What's the real aim of this competition, Karen? Because when I say that, I mean, what's the difference between this and the normal leagues that they play at the Leela Robinson courts? Yes, I understand that the big names are all packed into 6 teams. Yeah, right. But what's the difference? I mean, the crowd turnout, I'm sure, is not much. If it is bigger, not much bigger. What's the end game for this particular league?
Right. So it's developmental as well as to provide the spectators with really good high quality netball in every match. So you get some inconsistencies in the club leagues because there's a mix of teams. Of course, the major league teams play at a very high level, and some of these players also play in different clubs. But we've definitely drafted players. You have to be at a certain level. You can't. It's not that you came up through the ranks of a club. You have to be at a certain level to be drafted into the elite league. Of course, or most elite players play overseas, and their league is going on now. So it also gives the Jamaican players, the players who are on the national team who are still in Jamaica, it gives them an opportunity to hone their skills, gives them an opportunity to be seen, both locally and internationally. And so there is interest, not just in Jamaica, around this league. So sometimes players surprise us. You bring them in. You have 2 set levels of players who are drafted, and when you see the performance on the day, then you see that the league helps us to move forward. There's no country in the top 5 in the world who does not have their own domestic elite league where their national players are mandated to play. So we would be the only one who would not have an elite league. So those are some of the reasons.
Yeah. Only that, it's sort of centralized. So you put all the best players together and it's centralized. What's the purpose? Because Mobay doesn't get to see them. Port Maria doesn't get to see them. Mapen doesn't get to see them. It's centralized. I could understand if it was televised, and I could understand that. But right. So I don't know.
So on Fridays it is televised. It's available on Sportsmax, their YouTube channel, and the semifinals and finals will be televised. The plan is that eventually the entire season will be televised. And yes, I do take your point about netball being very centralized somewhat in Kingston. Players do come from as far as Ocho Rios. We have St. Anne, we have Clarendon, of course, and St. Catherine. But one of the developmental factors that we have to continue to work towards is to extend leagues of this nature outside of Kingston. We don't really have a facility in Montego Bay. We would love to play a set of games in Montego Bay. We would have to go in and take the wooden floor with us, set up maybe at the conference center where that basketball tournament is held every year, for example. An expensive venture, as you can imagine, but it can be done. So that's one of the things we definitely have to work along with the the government and the sporting bodies to make sure that there are facilities not just in Kingston, but outside of Kingston as well. So right now, there's no other facility like the Leela Robinson courts outside of Kingston with 4 courts and stands and, the ability to set up in a particular way. That's definitely an area that we need to work towards as Netball Jamaica. But in the meantime, we can't let that stopping us from putting on a top-class product.
All right, that's the whole thing about being televised on the Sportsmax YouTube, you say?
Yes, it is.
You need to push it a bit more because I'm not sure how many people know about it.
Right. We shall.
Yes. So.
Everything in its time, but yes, I agree with you. They have come on board and they're one of our sponsors. And we would like it to be direct on their channel eventually. But we'll take the baby steps until we can crawl, until we can run.
Yeah. You treat the Friday games like an after-work sort of situation, right?
Yes, and because Red Stripe Flavors is the sponsor, we do try to have a little party atmosphere there as well. So
it's working?
Fun.
And it's working?
It's working.
Okay.
It definitely is working. So when the weather settles down and everything is back on track, so whether we're indoor or outdoor and they're right next door to each other, it's a nice little vibe. So let us know when you're coming.
I definitely will, Karen. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for talking to us. It does seem as if we're getting some excitement because Alric certainly follows this league very, 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 closely. Yes, and of course we report on them every time they are played. So I'm familiar with the
Alric
teams
and the
so
whole
on.
team who, always gives netball the coverage and attention it deserves.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, Karen, thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
You too.
All right, take care.
Yeah, all right,
that's Karen, who's a member of the organizing committee for the Red Stripe Flavors Netball Jamaica Elite League. As there were no games yesterday, and as she said, there'll be no games tomorrow. The games are played on Fridays and Sundays, but because of the passage of Hurricane Beryl, the games were postponed from yesterday, and of course, people are still picking up the pieces, so there are no games tomorrow as well. Hopefully, she says the games will resume next week, and we'll have more elite netball for you. All right, just to give you a bit of information, just a short time ago, Colombia, they beat Panama by 5-0 in the Copa America semifinals, is it? Or quarterfinals, right? So the Colombians are through. They're waiting on the winner tonight of Uruguay against Brazil. That game should come up at about 8 o'clock. And in the Europa League, in the Euro 2024 today, the last 2 semifinal qualifiers were decided, and England, they won their game on penalties over Switzerland after the team split out a 1-1 draw in regular and extra time. And of course, there's also the other semi-final. Late in the night, the Netherlands defeated Turkey. So it's going to be England against the Netherlands and France against Spain. One game going to play on Tuesday, and the other is going to be played on Wednesday, and the final is going to be on Sunday in Munich. 2 sumptuous semi-finals. England against the Netherlands and France against Spain. Semi-finals of the Euros. You can't get it much better than that. All right, before we went to the previous break, we did tell you we're going to have a quick chat with Mr. Rudolph Speed. He's head of the technical committee of the Jamaica Football Federation, just to sort of fill us in on the recent resignation of the national coach, Heimer Helgumson, and also to give us an insight into what's happening as far as the search is concerned for the next coach. We have him online now. Mr. Rudolph Speed, good evening. Thanks for joining us on Sports Nation Live.
Well, thanks for having me, Wayne. Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir. So the Copa America is still... Did you watch the games today?
No, I didn't watch the game.
I'm sure you're watching the game tonight, don't?
I think so. I'm just waiting. I was trying to see the lineup, but I don't see it yet, but I'm waiting. Yeah.
Isn't it an 8 o'clock game?
8 o'clock, yeah.
Right, so you still have some time to do it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering if I was interrupting your Brazil game, even though I think Uruguay is going to win tonight, though. I mean, Brazil people don't like to hear that. So Jamaica was eliminated, and then the aftermath, the national coach Heimer Helgumson resigned. Well, did it come as a surprise to you? And I ask you that because he said it wasn't the Copa had anything to do with his resignation. He did it before.
Right. No, it didn't come as a surprise to me. Based on certain things that have transpired since last year, November. So it was really something that I think was always going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really surprised.
Is that thing that happened in November you can talk about?
Well, I mean, yeah, from I mean, from November, he had reservations about continuing after I lost the game in Jamaica. So,
after you lost the game with who? Lost the game with who?
Again, Canada and Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
That gave me a reservation about continuing. So,
I'm not hearing you say, Mr. Speed. You're coming in a little muffled.
no, I said from he lost the game against Canada in November in Jamaica, he had reservations about continuing. So, once the coach, anyone start to have reservation about a job, then you really have to start to think about what might happen.
But before you start to think about what might happen, you also want to think about why he had reservations.
Well, it's not everything I can really go into, but clearly, you would have seen that there was a fallout from that game. There was suspension. Clearly, he wasn't happy about some things. He actually went back home. After that game, he went back home, didn't come back until early January. Then he moved out. So, signs were already there. It's just for somebody to pick up that which might happen.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
Yeah. Again, you're muffled. I'm not sure if you're moving, but let me pick up on that. Did you say he moved house?
Yes, he wasn't living in Jamaica after January. He actually was living in Iceland, but he would come for the engagement. And in fairness to him, he was here for a long period when we played against Trinidad in that double friendly. So he was really here for a long period, but clearly his family wasn't here. They were back in Iceland, and that kind of gave me a clue that he wasn't interested in staying for too long.
Mm-hmm. But was there anything in his contract that says he must be in the country for a period of time because he's a national coach after all?
I don't remember, but I think so. Our national coach is expected to live here. That is why we had housing for him, car, whatever he needed to do his job here. We have those in place. So that was expected that he would live here. Yes.
So when he went away in November and didn't come back till January, that probably would have been a breach somewhere there. That's 3 months.
I don't know if it's a breach that couldn't be remedied.
Okay.
But I would say yes. I don't know if it's because he said he was working, which in the new world you could work from home. Mm-hmm. And he was actually speaking to players in England, and there was times that he was traveling there. So when you add all of that up, I don't know if you could call it a serious breach. Mm-hmm. That couldn't be remedied.
So between November last year until he resigned, he was only here in Jamaica only when the team have matches?
Or when he was doing the development period for the local players before played against Trinidad.
Yeah. Did he like it here? Did he like Jamaica?
I don't know. I wasn't really that close to him. I really don't know.
Well, it's kind of strange because you're head of the technical committee that you're not strange to the national coach. When I say strange, I mean, often enough dialogue to consider him somebody that you're close to.
Yeah, we have dialogue, but strictly business. I tend to stay away from coaches and what they do because, I don't have any luck, so I don't interfere any at all, and I don't fraternize either. Mm-hmm. Because some of the time you have to make excuses. So that's not strange for me.
All right, that's fine. So I don't know. So why did he do it on the day of the game? Because he told the players and the management and the president on the day of the game.
That isn't what I would have done. There's something called lame duck.
So hold on. You're saying he was a lame duck coach?
If you tell the players that you're leaving before, yes, you are. If you tell someone that you're not running again in an election before the election, yes, you are. That's not a new word. You know that word.
No, I know. It's in politics mostly.
Yeah. Once player know that you're not in charge of them anymore, you have a problem. That's what I think. I might be wrong.
No, I agree with you. In fact, I'll go further. If you found out that this man clearly had no interest in it, why didn't the federation move him earlier then without,
Well, no, you know that would cost us like a lot of money. Like a lot of money we couldn't afford.
Mr. Speed, hold on there. Oh, you're in the hills?
No, I'm not.
Wait, it sounds like you're in the hills because one moment we're hearing you, the next we're not.
I don't know why.
It sounds like you moved to Iceland because we're not hearing you.
No. I mean, you have to understand business.
Stay right where you are. Don't shift. We're hearing you perfectly.
Okay, you have to understand this. I mean, if we had pulled the trigger, it would have cost us a lot of money.
Did he want to? Did you think of it?
Well, all of those things don't matter. He's not here, and you have to understand that there's other people I'll be talking to about getting a job here. So the interview sounds good, but I mean, we can't say everything because the other person is coming then.
All right, cool.
That's all they deal with.
All right, not a problem. The backroom staff, they gone with him?
Some backroom staff had performance contracts, but they just paid whenever they turn up. Some backroom staff have long-term contracts. Those we have to think about.
Oh, okay. I mean, going forward.
Yes, and then we don't know what the new coach is gonna require. Some new coach might continue. Some new coach might say they want different staff. So all of that is flexible. At this particular point in time, it's fluid. We're not sure what's gonna happen. Yes.
I want to move forward with the search for the new coach, but there's something that's worrying me that I must ask you about. The whole question of what did it? What was the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back? Because you say you had issues. We all know what the issue is, the Leon Bailey stuff, yeah? When the GFF moved to suspend Leon the second time around, it is in the public's domain, whether it's true or not, that it was done because of his insistence in wanting Leon in the team, and the JFF did it to make sure that he doesn't have that sort of option. Is it true?
You know, suspending players, a player cannot refuse a national call-up only on two reasons they can give. One, if they retire from football, from international football, or if they are injured. Those are the only two reasons. If you do, the FIFA will apply automatically, where you cannot play for your team during the FIFA window, plus 5 years after. So the JFF has always moved to suspend players who shouldn't, starting with the girls last year, when you refuse a call-up, as a measure of protecting the said player. So now they can go and play for the club without any issues.
Did Leon refuse? Leon told you guys weeks before that he is not available.
Well, I'm not going down that. I'm not getting in that argument. I told you what the rules are.
But I know, and I get that. But if
on that, the JFF moved professionally to make sure that the players' careers are not compromised by them not doing the proper thing. Because I told you, it's 2 ways. Either you retire from international football, or you get a doctor certificate and say, "Me can't play."
I get that, Rudolph. But what about the player who told you not to call him because
you're not listening?
I'm hearing you.
But you're not listening. I don't care what the player said. You know what you have to do. You either have to get a doctor certification so you can't play, or you retire from international football.
And he didn't show that. Yes.
And he didn't do any. Or the coach and you have an agreement. The coach me tired, can we get a game? And the coach say, okay, fine.
All right, fine.
So those three situations arise, but the coach did still pick him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, fine. So the whole question of the search for the new coach, where are we with that?
I am not rushing. We don't need to rush. We have a game, I think, September 5th. We don't need to rush. We need to do it properly, and that's what we're trying to do.
You must have some things in your mind. By the way, people have applied?
At least 25.
I hear Thierry Henry is amongst the 25. Is it true?
Thierry Henry hasn't applied. Not true.
And Mauricio Pochettino hasn't applied either?
No. I don't know where people get those stories from.
But you've heard them?
I heard lots of stories.
Yeah.
I heard that I am the coach.
I soon get there. No, that's not stupidness. I soon get there. Because you know what I think about you. I soon get there. So let me ask you, Mr. Speed. How you don't have to give me the names. How many people have applied so far?
If I don't get 20, I don't get one. Lots. I haven't counted it, but it's a lot.
What? All overseas, or you have local in it?
No local, only overseas.
Why no local do apply? Only not going to go local?
I never said that.
No, I know you didn't. I'm asking you. I hear that. You see, you tell me I'm not listening. You're not listening. No. Will you endeavor to pick a local coach?
We will consider all coaches that apply.
So those applications that you've gotten, when are you going to sift through them, do a short list, and invite people in to interview for an interview?
I've spoken to persons already, but clearly it has widened the amount of people. So and then I've done some research as to who's the best coaches in the world. So, and I've done research as to who coaches the players that look like us. So there's a lot of fans going to pick in this person. It's not going to be just anybody. So that is what I'm giving through now. So it's not just who apply, who, the person has to fit a profile.
Oh. Why don't you take the job?
No, even when I just came to the JFF, I was asked if I wanted to coach a team or be the chairman of the technical committee. I thought I can help the country much better from this position, and that's what I've been doing.
You still think so?
Yes.
Because you say when you came in, that was what you thought about it. You still think so?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think you should coach his team. I really don't think anybody in the country has the football mind that you have, Mr. Speed. And you know I feel about you. And I say that publicly. I don't think anybody has the football mind that you have. Why don't you take the team?
But, it's because the other part of the game needs to be developed too. Like now, I'm doing 500 primary school coaches to make sure they come up to standard. Those, ticking those boxes at a lower level is so important to the country for long-term development and not just development of one team. So, I never thought about coaching the senior national team. I don't think I am what is needed now. And at some time in the future, maybe. But right now, for this World Cup qualifier, I can't take any chances. I want to get there no matter what.
And you still think the team's chances are very good?
Oh, of course. I don't see any reason why we should.
Yeah. Do you give yourself, you say you're not rushing, but do you give yourself a time frame in which to get that national coaching?
I think we have the whole month.
You got what?
I think we have the whole month of July to get a coach.
Mm-hmm. So you want to get him in before the start of August?
Yeah, that would be my preference if I get him by August 1st.
Right. And you're not closer. You're not closer to getting him.
I can get a coach right now if I want to sign a contract tomorrow. I've gone through some of the work. I wasn't caught by surprise about what happened. But as I said before, I'm widening the search because of research.
Oh, let me ask you. You had a problem with the coach. He was living in Ocherias, and then he moved out. You say in November he moved house, and he went back to Iceland and was living there. Would you make sure or put it in black and white that the next coach who takes over this team is required to live here?
It will be. Let me tell you one of the things that concern me greatly. Football is a very fluid situation. The development of the local players is very important to me. The other day in the World Cup qualifiers, what happened? We had to choose 8 persons from Jamaica to be in that squad. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a squad of 23. We have to choose 8 for that league. About 15, right?
Yeah.
The truth is, we could have gotten ourselves into serious trouble. And of course, those 2 performers, one was shaky, and one was extra shaky, right?
It was dismal.
Yeah, the problem is, if we don't spend time developing the locals, that scenario that happened there wasn't anybody's fault, A lot of the overseas players decided that they were not available, right? And they couldn't play in the World Cup qualifiers. It's not anybody's fault. So the truth is, you can see where development of local players is very important. So, and what we had was a situation where the coach would, bring these players together and develop them up. So the point is, suppose it was worse, and then the local players wasn't up to scratch because they were not being developed properly or shown what they are expected to do at the international level. And that is why it's so important for the coach to live here and help those develop as they go along.
Okay. Well, you say you have the whole month to try to find Heimer Hallgrimsson's successor. By the way, let me ask you a question. How did the players feel about him?
I don't know.
No, it's not that you don't know. You don't want to say.
No, remember, I don't have any first hand. I would be telling you second hand. I don't have any first hand because I haven't traveled with the team. As you know, is a part of my thing. I really don't travel with the team. I don't experience what is happening there first, and I can only report what people tell me. I was waiting on the report from the store, which clearly I won't get it from the coach, but I'll get some other report from the management, and I'll see what happens, and use those reports to help going forward.
All right. A last question for you. Meron, what's his future?
I don't know. Remember, we always try to put a local coach in the national senior team for experience, etc. If you notice, Meron was the third, was not the first assistant, was the second assistant. So, I mean, we haven't really changed him, so far, although we have changed other coaches because of what we're trying to achieve with local coaches. We have attached one of them to all the teams that we have, but for to gather knowledge and experience. So I'm hoping that one day they'll be able to put those experiences to good use. So for now, he's still in the program. There's no change to that, but I'm not sure what the new coach will ask for when it comes, so I'm fluid.
All right, Rudolph, thanks so much. Go get ready to face your defeat against Uruguay.
All right, thank you.
And we'll talk again. Thanks, man. Rudolph Speed, head of the technical committee of the Jamaica Football Federation. He will have a big say in who coaches the national team going forward. Let's see what he does. He says he could get a coach by tomorrow, but he has deliberately decided to spread it wide because what he wants is a fulsome coach. You know, Jaime Halcomson used to live in possibly the richest, well, not the richest, but the most coveted community in Jamaica. It's a community where everybody wants to live in, and you lived in that community and everything. And now that he's gone, I can say it. It's Richmond in Ocho Rios. Have you been over Richmond? I tell you, boy, if you go in that place, you don't want to come back out. So there's who's living. But how could you employ a coach with the remit that he lives in Jamaica and he moved out in November simply because Leon Bailey was suspended? Leon decided that he didn't want to play. The coach didn't believe that he got enough assistance to bring Leon back. And even after Leon kept his party the other day, the coach wanted to bring back Leon when Leon refused to accept the call. And I understand that some of the players in the squad were not happy with it. And coach, by every measure, wanted Leon in the squad no matter what. And, when the Federation suspended Leon, that was the final straw. Because he wanted Leon in the squad. For some reason, he wanted him no matter what. And that was the final straw. But they said he moved out in November, went back to Iceland, didn't come back until January. He wasn't at the Premier League final the other day. And the Premier League final was played like 3 weeks before the World Cup qualifier. And his excuse was that he was back home and couldn't be here. Anyway, he's in the rear view now. And I think, let's see what they come up with in terms of the search. All right, we're going to go for a break. When we come back, we'll continue.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me, let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Those oldies but goodies reminds me of you.
Okay, good evening. Welcome back to Sports Nation Live. I'm Alric Swibe. This is our final segment of the show. We'll be talking some swimming now, as a lot have been happening in local swimming, and we are joined by national coach Gillian Millwood to bring us up to speed as to what's been happening. Gillian, good evening and welcome.
Hi, Alric. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Like I said, a lot's been happening in local swimming. My former best friends have been keeping me up to date, so I'm happy that you are here this evening to share with me. CC Can, the Olympics, Goodwill, among others. But let's start with the recent CC Can. Jamaica sent a team over there from June 17th to the 28th in Mexico. 16 swimmers in all. We brought home 16 medals. Tell us about that competition.
Right, so a very exciting trip. My first with a team since 2019. Before that, or after that, sorry, I did Goodwill. So that's a higher level I've been to since then. But in terms of the age group swim out, quite fun, very eventful. In the middle of it, we had one day of cancel the competition because there was a cyclone, so we had to stop our competition, stay in, figure out a way to keep the athletes moving, and get them back into competition for the Friday and the Saturday, which were the two final days of competition. But right, as you said, 16 athletes, including persons who were at the previous Carista Games, so champion Kia Alert, newcomer Kyle Lawson, Matthew Kennedy, Malcolm McKenzie, Nelson Denny, Sabrina Lynn, who was a multiple medalist as well.
Okay, Gillian?
You can. You hearing me?
Okay, I lost a bit there. Right, 16 medals from 16 swimmers. Very impressive. Tell me, you mentioned Sabrina Lynn. Who are some of the other standouts on this team?
In terms of standouts for this trip, Kia Alert did pull her weight. You know, she restored her crown with the 50 breast, 100-meter breast. Really spectacular swims in terms of all of her races, but of course retaining the breaststroke titles was the biggest deal for her. And she came through with that, along with many other lessons. Matthew Kennedy, while he didn't medal, put up some really phenomenal swims. It's very difficult for some of the Jamaican-based ones to put up best times at this meet after Carista, but he did, drop in some 11 seconds in the 1,500 meters, another 6 seconds in the 200-meter butterfly. So, and in those tougher, longer events that we need to build our program with. So I was very pleased with that. Newcomer Lincoln Tomlinson was very good as well. This is his first time at the meet with us there. So he did a pretty good job. Of our 15-17 swimmers, he placed first with the 50 free, first with the 100 free as well. So very proud of him. Sabrina Lynn and Nathaniel Thomas served as captains this time around, as voted by the swimmers and heavily supported by the management team, myself and Coach Wendy and Auntie Melissa. So we were pleased with her and the way she dealt with the changes in particular. She had posted in her because she joined this team because of her journey to the Olympics, which she came through with, but that's based on earlier times. Her 50-meter freestyle time of 25.8. So we're pretty pleased with her and how the meet ended up, both with her leadership as well as, the mettle she put up throughout the journey this time around, especially coming off of Carista and Pan Am Games last year and CAC last year as well. So we're looking forward to seeing her in the summer.
Right. And 16 medals, 16 swimmers would have gone over to Mexico for the CC Can, but it was a 21 or 23 member team that was ratified.
Originally.
A number of swimmers had to decline the invitation because of personal and school commitments.
Primarily exams and costs.
Right. With 16 swimmers, did they surprise you coming out with 16 medals?
I'm happy for the 16, but honestly, I know we could have done more. I think our aim going in was 20, and that was something that was achievable. We ran into some issues one issue in particular with our race where an athlete was placed sixth instead of the original touch third, and no matter how we protested it, we missed out on that medal. And there were other events where our swimmers do really well with 2 swims. They get like a warm-up swim in the morning, and they go to finals in the evening. So, a number of those we could have very well capitalized on had the meet been in its original format. Definitely. And of course, we missed out on medals because of missing relays, but regardless. 16 with everything that happened at the meet. I mean, I'm telling you the bare minimum. It was like I said, very adventurous, very eventful meet. But with 16, I'm very proud of them because not just the 16 medals, but the best times, the progress, the dealing with adversity, all of that came through it. The good energy. I think this was one of the best teams that I've led so far. They were easy, very adaptable kids, very coachable kids. So really, really, really pleased with them in terms of how the entire event went.
Right. Olympics is in the air. Just a couple of weeks away. We had a couple of swimmers hopeful of securing a spot on Jamaica's team to the Olympics. Sabrina Lane, Emily McDonald, Jessica Calderbank, Josh Curlew, Nathaniel Thomas. In the end, Sabrina Lane and Josh Curlew were given those FINA spots. Tell me, Sabrina Lane, Josh Curlew going to the Olympics, what's your expectation of them?
Well, first, staying in good health, making sure them get on the plane, all of the flights go through and get to being there at the location. That's the first part, just getting there physically. Second, aiming for semis. Based on the fact that I got through with the FINA points as opposed to, the outright B cuts or A cuts. Semis, I think, is the next press for them. And then anything else is just an extraordinary blessing. I'm not familiar with Josh Curlew. We've just been watching his times. So he made it with the 100-meter butterfly, doing 54.4 or 0.5 seconds at a meet that he did in Italy in June. So hoping to see some spectacular things, especially where he has the experience racing Europeans. And Europeans give a big challenge, especially when it comes to the strokes, the butterfly, the 100 and up events. Sabrina would be a good 100-meter butterfly as well. Her 50, of course, all of us are more familiar. She came up through our age group system, both through Campion and Tornadoes, representing both, as well as Jamaica right throughout since 11-12 coming straight up. So we have a deeper connection with her. Hosting 25-8, like I said before, for her 53, but her skills expand greater towards 100-meter butterfly and all of those. But we're looking to see her go a lower 25 where possible. So she's home and going through the run-ins now, getting herself prepared, and we're excited for them.
Like you said, a semi-final spot is what you're looking for both swimmers. Tell me, in terms of preparation, what they'll have to do to give themselves the best chance of making it into the semi-finals and even the finals.
In my view, because of course I haven't asked the coaches explicitly what they're working on, but fine-tuning their explosiveness of their races, of how they're going off the blocks and off the wall, maintaining tempo and their rhythms, fine-tuning any little skills. Remember where Alia changed her kick just before one of the 100-meter breaststroke events in I think is our third Olympics. One of them, but just those are the fine-tuning pieces is what you're going to be going through, technique-wise, cadence-wise, and a little bit more explosiveness when you go into the gym.
Right. Speaking of Ali would have conducted a number of coaching clinics here over the years. Sabrina Lynn would have been a part of some of those. Do you see some of what Ali would have shared with the groups in Sabrina Lynn?
Definitely, especially when it comes to things like tenacity in races, keeping a cool mindset before your race and letting all of it show in the pool. Something that Ali was very excellent at. I remember one of our Carista events, she's reading memoirs of a geisha before we're going into race in the marshalling area. So that's something that she also shared with those athletes at the various clinics. And I see whether they're listening to music, Sabrina still has this thing where if you see her dancing, it's going to be a good race. If she's excited, you'll see it in her body language and it's going to be a good race. So that kind of thing, staying calm under pressure, that's something that has stood out, and I see it in Sabrina from Alia.
Okay, you have a couple of age group competition coming up. Goodwill in St. Lucia from August 16 to 18. Yourself, Coach Lemon, Coach Miguel, will be traveling with the team over to St. Lucia. I know the team hasn't been selected yet, but what's the size of the team you think you would need to go over and perform at your best and bring back even the first place from the Goodwill Games?
Well, we're allowed 40 kids. About I think 39 were selected. All right, as of tonight, I'm aware of 35 that are confirmed. In order for us to win, we have to carry the full complement of 40. Whether it was we had one person who didn't outright qualify, or persons are declining based on school requirements, or they traveled before the team was called, etc. So we have a few people declining. We have all being well. We should have, given the weather and everything, we should have our first training session next week on the weekend. And so we'll get a better feel. This meet is quite different. Usually the other meets you're dealing with 11, 12 and older, but this meet will have 8 and unders, 9, 10. And I know it's just two age groups, but trust me, it adds a great dynamic to the team. And how you approach them, how you guide them through, because it's a greater experience than, even being younger ones. And these persons would not have swum at a Carista or a CC camp. So they are still, getting their breath, getting their experience on the regional stage. It's not heat and finals like the faster meets are, but it still requires a lot. It still requires a lot of racing, intense racing. It requires a lot of aggression from the kids. That pressure, that dealing with pressure, staying cool and calm under pressure is still a big deal. Going to this meet, even though it's a little bit more fun. But really excited. I've worked with Miguel once. Lemon is new to the setup. He was a national swimmer, so he understands the competition and what's required. But in terms of expanding himself as a coach, it's his second opportunity. So excited to work with and, collaborate with these two coaches because they're very, very skilled, very good. And I hope the kids learn a lot from them, and I plan for us all to learn from each other. So it's really a really exciting time and a little bit more relaxing with this team as well. Nice, St. Lucia.
How much first time swimmers, Goodwill swimmers, have been selected for this team?
A minimum of 8, Minimum of 8. The 8 and unders are new. The 9-10s are new as well. So let's put it up, at least 16 new people.
Okay.
Are coming on, and then the rest are returning.
And what does that mean for local swimming?
it's expanding because even people who had gone last year got beat out this year, or had gone in previous years got beat out this year. It's very, very intense because even after you take out, because of course when you're doing the ranking for Goodwill, you have to remove the persons who went to CC Can or would have been eligible for Pan Am age group. And, you know, to take, for example, the 11-12 girls, there were 8 girls who made the times themselves, but we had to go by things like rankings, and we had to go by the World Aquatics points and adding up who has the most overall throughout the event. So it was pretty tough. I think another age group was the 13-14 boys that were in a similar position. The 9-10s had 5 people who were like 9-10 girls, had 5 people who were in that position. The 15-17 boys have or had 6 to 8 persons who are also in that position. So what it's saying is that the depth is growing, in particular with the 50s and the 100s. So in coming years now, the next thing is to build that depth for the 200s and up, so that we can feed Carista and be stronger in more of the events at Carista, be stronger in more of the events at CC Can, and then send up the higher levels and more persons qualifying in various events.
Right, and Pan Am age group in Puerto Rico, when is that competition?
That is pretty much the same weekend as Goodwill. Okay. So we'll have 2 teams within the space of a week performing. Kia Alert will go from CC Can into doing this meet. I think Nelson Denny was also selected for that meet. There are a number of persons who were selected, but because they're foreign-based, I'm not privy to the information as to who has accepted and who has declined. Because as you know, in the U.S., by like the 2nd or 3rd week of August, they're back in school, like a week or 2 ahead of Jamaica.
Right.
So that will affect the numbers. But I don't have that information on me just now. But that's the caliber that's going to Puerto Rico, and that should also be another piece of excitement, especially with how that particular meet had started out, where, you know, it's more of a collaborative thing, getting persons competitive. They used to have it in January as a Carista qualifier, and now it's expanded. It's gone down more into a summer meet. So we're looking to see how, you know, that level of kids handle their summer training and coming through, especially because, you know, you have no school, so your brain can be on swimming 24/7 now, as opposed to balancing your life between academics and swimming. So we get to see what comes, because between CC Can and this, I want to say it's 6 weeks-ish. So 6-7 weeks. So all being well, we'll see either better execution or just overall faster swims, because they've gotten stronger over the time.
And this is a bigger competition than the CC Can and the Goodwill Games.
Yeah, because we'll have access to, there are supposed to be more teams there, all being well. Because this one started out where they were inviting Brazil to be there, Venezuela, all of Central America. I'm not sure if the U.S. is going to show up, but, you know, that's a wider range of Pan Aquatics.
I guess that's why they sent for the big coach, Lynn Badlow, to accompany this team.
One up, yeah. Yes.
Okay, Gillian, thanks much for stopping by and talking with us. It has been a pleasure talking with you. I wish you and all the teams that will be traveling to represent Jamaica all the best.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Okay, that was Gillian Millwood, national swimming coach. Wrapping up this segment of Sports Nation Live and the show in general. Now, that's all the time we have for today. Let me say a special thanks to all those who made it possible. Wayne Walker, who co-hosted with me, Gillian Millwood, Matthew Donville, Brianna Johnson, Lecola Newman, Solomon Sharp, Karen Rosen. We spoke with Rudolph Speed, Michael Carr, and Trevor T.C. Campbell. I'm Alex Swaby on behalf of Wayne Walker, who was here co-hosting with me earlier, and my technical operator, Kevin Williams. Just want to say God bless, good night, and as usual, I hope that you will be in church on Sunday. And if you don't have to have a local church to worship, you're welcome to worship with us at Tower Hill Missionary Church, 159 Olympic Way. God bless, good night.
Get ready for a show like no other. That's right. Every Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m., we're bringing you the Harvest Hour, only on Nationwide 90 FM. Join us as we dive into a soothing religious program created for your mind, body, and soul. The World Harvest Mission Church, creators of the Harvest Hour, is dedicated to making your Sundays God-fearing and saintly. Get a front row seat to moving sermons and affectionate worshiping. That's the Harvest Hour, every Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.